Chapter 1264. Brother Yi, what did you say to Miss Nangong that made her change her mind and accept the neon light talisman? Zhou Tianyi asked curiously as they left the auction hall. He really wanted to know what Yi Chenfeng said to Nangong Qingxue. Watermark advertisement test. I told her that you have cultivated the sword heart, and it was her choice to change her fate. Yi Chenfeng said with a faint smile. What? Miss Nangong is not in a good situation. Zhou Tianyi's heart tightened. Unless their strength was above the family, the children of the big families could hardly control their own fate. Especially a beautiful girl like Nangong Qingxue. It was easier for her to become the marriage partner of the big families. Yi Chenfeng said faintly, Tianyi, train hard. If you really want the Nangong family to acknowledge you, you must be strong enough. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to marry Nangong Qingxue. Don't worry, brother, I will become strong. Zhou Tianyi clenched his fists and promised. Every strong person walked out from a pile of bones and had to go through the test of life and death. Looking at Zhou Tianyi's determined face, Yi Chenfeng said, Tianyi, if we leave Golden Thunder City now, we will encounter a lot of strong people. Are you afraid? Not afraid, Zhou Tianyi said with a firm tone. Good, then let's leave the city and send those who want to kill us to hell. Yi Chenfeng said with a faint smile. Mr. Yi, do you need my earthly insect's help? Yin Ruoshi found that Yi Chenfeng was not simple. He was far more terrifying than she imagined. She wanted to do him a favor and asked, Thank you for your kindness, Insect Master, but I don't want to bother you with a bunch of useless people. Yi Chenfeng smiled and said calmly, as if the danger outside the city was completely under his control. After leaving Golden Thunder City, Yi Chenfeng's sharp senses immediately sensed at least a dozen strong soul power sweeping over his body. Among these people, there were two powerful people from Nirvana. Was Nirvana the only powerful people? A cold smile appeared on Yi Chenfeng's face. He summoned the ancient map fragment, and it appeared in his palm. He was prepared to seal the space and kill the enemy at any time. As Yi Chenfeng's group was getting further and further away from Golden Thunder City, those experts who had been secretly following them didn't hurry to take action. When the sky was getting darker and darker, and the bright moonlight was covered by the slowly moving dark clouds, a vague figure cut through the night and blocked in front of Yi Chenfeng's group. Old man, Tianyi, seeing this black-robed old man whose eyes were as sharp as an eagle's, Zhou Tianyi immediately recognized that the person who had suddenly stopped them was the famous rogue cultivator of the Thunder Dominion, Nirvana's almighty Old Man Sky Eagle. Old Man Heavenly Eagle was neither good nor evil, and his strength was extremely terrifying. The number of people in the entire lightning region that could defeat him could be counted with one's fingers. It could be said that being targeted by him was equivalent to being targeted by the god of death, and there was absolutely no possibility of survival. You finally couldn't hold it in any longer and decided to make a move. Yi Chenfeng said calmly, not revealing any panic on his face as he looked at Old Man Heavenly Eagle. Give me that piece of meat, and I guarantee that you won't die. Old Man Sky Eagle's sharp eyes flickered with a glaring light, and his voice was as cold as ice. If you want that piece of meat, you can exchange it with your life. Yi Chenfeng summoned the dragon-spined sacred sword with a thought, and a domineering aura spread out from his tall and straight body. At this moment, he was like a divine sword that was about to be unsheathed, slowly revealing its peerless edge to the world. The spiritual fish also summoned the sky-piercing bow and was ready to shoot an arrow at any time to attack Old Man Sky Eagle, whose strength was unfathomable. Sky-piercing bow. Why is Gulan's sky-piercing bow in your hands? Old Man Sky Eagle was surprised when he saw the sky-piercing bow in the spiritual fish's hand and asked softly, Who is Gulan? I have never heard of her before. The spiritual fish's eyes emitted a faint golden light as its powerful bloodline power began to awaken. I underestimated you guys. I didn't expect Gulan to fall in your hands. The killing intent on Old Man Sky Eagle's face was replaced by seriousness. The sky-piercing bow was Gulan's favorite treasure, and it was impossible for it to be given away. The sky-piercing bow's change of owner meant that something had happened to Gulan. At this moment, Old Man Sky Eagle no longer dared to underestimate Yi Chin Fong and the rest. He was prepared to do his best to kill them in one go. Suddenly, Old Man Sky Eagle noticed that a pearl had appeared in Yi Chin Feng's hand. It was a pearl that was filled with the power of destruction. When he stared at the pearl, all the hair on his body stood up. He had an illusion that once this pearl exploded, no matter how capable he was, he would not be left with a corpse. Swish, swish, swish. Suddenly, a series of ear-piercing sounds rang out. When Yi Chin Fong took out the Saint Extermination Pearl and was about to kill Old Man Sky Eagle, several experts hidden in the darkness launched fatal attacks at Yi Chin Fong and the rest. They wanted to kill them and seize their treasures. I'll send you to hell first. With a thought, the 81 Chenkuan swords flew out of Yi Chin Feng's body, forming a rain of swords that enveloped Zhou Tianyi and the rest. While blocking the attacks, he was prepared to detonate the Saint Extermination Pearl and kill Old Man Sky Eagle. Extreme Eagle Old Man Sky Eagle, who smelled the strong threat of death, flashed and turned into an afterimage. He leaped into the air like a frightened eagle. He glanced at Yi Chin Fong with apprehension and flew away at an extremely fast speed. Old Man Sky Eagle was scared away by the Saint Extermination Pearl, so Yi Chin Fong did not chase after him. With a thought, he controlled the Chenkuan swords to spin rapidly. Like a spinning top, they strangled the experts hidden in the night. Amidst the miserable screams, 5 powerful combat beast emperors were crushed by the Chenkuan swords controlled by Yi Chin Feng's thought. A large amount of blood and minced meat fell from the sky, dyeing the ground red. Why did Old Man Sky Eagle suddenly leave? The experts of the various major factions who were hiding in the night and trying to kill Yi Chin Fong and the rest noticed that the strongest Old Man Sky Eagle had suddenly left and smelled an unusual aura. What kind of existence was Old Man Sky Eagle? He was a top expert comparable to the ancestors of the various major factions. For Yi Chin Fong to be able to scare him away, it was enough to show that he had an unimaginable trump card. This caused many people to retreat. However, there were still people who coveted the treasures and wealth in Yi Chin Feng's possession and decided to take the risk to kill him. Rumble! A series of thunderous booms resounded in the dark night. In the pitch-black void that was filled with a thick stench of blood, a towering thunder mountain suddenly appeared. On top of the thunder mountain, 3 white-haired old men who looked extremely familiar were floating. True Thunder Mountain, it's the 3 true Thunder Saints. I didn't expect them to come as well. It seemed that someone had deliberately released the news to attract some reclusive old monsters from the Lightning Territory and borrow their hands to kill that person. Although Old Man Sky Eagle had left, with the 3 true Thunder Saints attacking, those people would definitely die. The 3 true Thunder Saints were the same as Old Man Sky Eagle. They didn't belong to any sect and were rogue cultivators from the Lightning Territory. Although the 3 true Thunder Saints were Nirvana Almighties and were far weaker than Old Man Sky Eagle, they were brothers from the same mother and had cultivated together for tens of thousands of years. Their minds were already connected. In addition, the true Thunder Mountain that they had refined together had reached the level of a quasi-sage artifact. Even Old Man Sky Eagle wasn't willing to face them head-on. Junior, hand over the treasures in your possession, and we will spare your life. A thunderous voice exploded in the ears of Yi Chin Fong and the rest, shaking the souls of Zhou Tianyi and Zhou Shui, causing them to tremble in pain. You want the treasures in my possession? Sure, exchange them with your lives. Yi Chin Fong replied domineeringly. He held the Dragon's Pine sacred sword and soared into the sky, charging towards the true Thunder Mountain that was flickering with lightning. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends. QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1265. Courting Death. The three true Thunder Saints didn't expect Yi Qinfeng to be so daring as to take the initiative to attack them. They immediately injected a huge amount of Tao energy into the true Thunder Mountain, controlling it to fall down and bombarding Yi Qinfeng, wanting to shatter him. 9 Flood Dragon diagram. Feeling the destructive lightning radiating from the true lightning mountain, Yi Qinfeng summoned the 9 Flood Dragon diagram. Then he condensed the life and death Tao diagram, the heaven and earth Tao diagram, and the 5 elements Tao diagram, infusing Tao energy into the 9 Flood Dragon diagram. Roar, roar, roar. A series of deafening dragon roars resounded. Fusing with the Tao energy of the 3 Tao diagrams, 9 Flood Dragon spirits appeared in the 9 Flood Dragon diagram. They twisted their huge bodies and continuously attacked the true Thunder Mountain. Not only did they resist the destructive attack of the true Thunder Mountain, but they also shook it to the side. What? That person actually shook the quasi-sacred treasure, true Thunder Mountain? Could it be that he was hiding his strength? He wasn't a level 5 combat beast emperor, but a Nirvana realm expert. Witnessing the scene of the 9 Flood Dragon spirits shaking the true Thunder Mountain, the experts of the major forces hidden in the night revealed shocked expressions. Just as they looked at Yi Qinfeng in unison, wanting to see his next performance, 2 blurry figures split from his body and attacked the 3 true Thunder Saints from the left and right. Doppelganger, 2 doppelgangers. Through the night, seeing the sword puppet and Xingluo's doppelganger flying over, the 3 true Thunder Saints revealed a trace of surprise. However, they had lived for tens of thousands of years and had experienced hundreds of battles. Their combat experience was extremely rich. Coupled with their telepathy, their attacks were extremely terrifying. The 3 of them blasted out their palms at the same time, instantly condensing 3 sky-covering hands that sealed the entire void. Dragging long Tao patterns, they crushed towards the 2 doppelgangers that were approaching them. Swoosh! The sword spirit puppet instantly fused with the black dragon's sacred sword, slashing out with its body as a sword. It drew out a huge crescent arc like a falling crescent moon. It directly broke through the huge palms that the 3 of them had sent out. The sword slashed out toward the 3 of them, forcing them to dodge to the side. While the 3 of them were dodging, Xingluo's doppelganger flickered with streaks of starlight. Bright stars appeared on his body one after another, illuminating the pitch-black night sky and releasing a glaring radiance. He continuously bombarded the 3 true lightning saints, fiercely colliding with the lightning they shot out in midair. Qinkuan sword formation. Qinkuan strike. While the 3 true Thunder Saints were fighting fiercely with Yi Qinfeng's 2 clones, Yi Qinfeng leaped high into the air and controlled the rapidly spinning 81 Qinkuan swords to fuse together, turning them into a gigantic Qinkuan sword that could split the sky and the earth as it slashed towards the 3 saints. When this sword slashed out, the heavenly monarch felt like he was going to be split in half. In the eyes of the stunned spectators, there was only an earth-shattering and unstoppable sword light. Feeling the terror of Yi Qinfeng's sword, the 3 true Thunder Saints didn't dare to be careless. A dark, golden ancient Tao treasure engraved with mountain runes appeared above their heads and rapidly shook, forming rays of defensive Tao light to block the Qinkuan sword. Chi, the water-like, defensive Tao patterns were easily torn apart by the Qinkuan sword. The terrifying sword ruthlessly slashed at the ancient Tao flag, directly splitting it. The powerful force caused the entire void to tremble. True Lamy Mountain, extinguish. After witnessing Yi Qinfeng's terrifying attack, the 3 true Thunder Saints no longer underestimated him. They quickly summoned the true Lamy Mountain that was repelled by the 9 serpent diagram, wanting to use this quasi-sage treasure to kill Yi Qinfeng and the others. 9 serpent diagram devour. The true lightning mountain, which was flickering with boundless lightning, smashed towards Yi Qinfeng. Yi Qinfeng immediately controlled the 9 flood dragon diagram to continuously expand. Like a spatial black hole, it directly swallowed the mountain-like true lightning mountain into the space of the 9 flood dragon diagram. He controlled the 9 flood dragon spirits to suppress it. A sage treasure, a true sage treasure. Witnessing the scene of the true lightning mountain being swallowed by the 9 serpent diagram, the 3 true lightning saints revealed shocked expressions. They never thought that Yi Qinfeng would actually possess a true sacred treasure. And judging from the power released by the 9 serpent diagram, the 9 serpent diagram was no ordinary sacred treasure. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh the moment the true Lamy Mountain was suppressed by the 9 serpent diagram. The sword puppet and Xingluo's doppelganger attacked the 3 true thunder saints. Yi Qinfeng didn't attack again. He controlled the 3 Dao diagrams with all his strength, releasing Dao runes into the 9 serpent diagram to increase its power and suppress the true Lamy Mountain. Just as Yi Qinfeng and his 2 doppelganger were fiercely fighting the 3 true thunder saints under the night sky, many experts hidden in the night launched attacks at the 3 Lingyu brothers, wanting to capture them and use their lives to threaten Yi Qinfeng. Suddenly, a series of miserable screams rang out. Several experts close to Zhou Tianyi and his sister were killed by the ancient diagram fragments hidden in the void that Yi Qinfeng had set up in advance, turning into clouds of blood mist in midair. The bloodline of the golden-eyed divine ape burned. The spirit fish's eyes sparkled with a strong desire to fight. It let out a loud roar, ignited the power of its bloodline, and transformed into the true form of the golden-eyed divine ape. It held the top-grade Taoist stick in its hand and darted toward a nearby jungle. Then it started to fight with more than 10 powerful experts hiding in the jungle. Second sister, take care of yourself. Thinking of Yi Qinfeng's words, Zhou Tianyi didn't hide in the ancient diagram fragments blindly. Instead, he rushed out with his ruler weapon, igniting his snake bloodline at all costs, and took the initiative to attack the experts of the Thunder Field who were stunned by the ancient diagram fragments. Damn it, what kind of doppelganger is this? Why is its defense so terrifying? The 3 true Thunder Saints held 3 supreme-grade Dao weapon lightning spears and fiercely attacked the sword puppet for half an hour, but they didn't cause any damage to it. They revealed looks of disbelief, and the more they fought, the more frightened they became. Under the protection of the sword puppet, Xingluo's doppelganger constantly blasted out attack stars, attacking the 3 of them, damaging their bodies and worsening their injuries. Their attacks were suppressed by the sword puppet and Xingluo's doppelganger. The eldest of the 3 true Thunder Saints quickly took out a 10-meter-long ghost banner embroidered with a large number of ferocious faces. It was a quasi-holy treasure-level ghost banner. Summoning the myriad ghost streamer, the 3 true Thunder Saints sprayed their blood essence into the streamer, activating the tens of thousands of living beings sealed in it. A series of bone-chilling cries of ghosts rang out from the streamer. Ghost banner, kill! The tens of thousands of creatures in the ghost banner were completely awakened. The 3 true Thunder Saints immediately controlled the banner to attack the 2 doppelganger. They wanted to use the power of the banner to forcibly erase the soul imprints in the doppelganger and cut off Yi Qinfeng's left and right arms. You really deserve to die. Yi Qinfeng didn't expect the 3 true Thunder Saints to refine such an evil, quasi-holy treasure. In order to increase the power of the ghost banner, they sealed tens of thousands of creatures inside. This kind of cruel means was not tolerated by heaven and earth. Purple beginning holy thunder, sky burning sacred fire, soul extinguisher. As the tens of thousands of creatures covering the void attacked, Yi Qinfeng immediately summoned 2 holy spirits to cover his body. Under the burning of the sky burning holy fire and the bombardment of the purple beginning holy thunder, a large number of creatures were turned into ashes. The yin qi in the whole space became thicker and thicker like hell. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Collect button below to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1266. Holy fire, holy lightning witnessing the purple beginnings, holy lightning and sky burning, holy fire gushing out of Yi Qinfeng's body. The three true lightning saints felt a wave of unease. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test the 10,000 ghost banner was their final trump card. If they were countered by Yi Qinfeng again, they would be in danger. While they were still in shock, the sword puppet and Xingluo's clone ignored the evil creature's attacks and closed in on the three true lightning saints, continuing to attack them. Whoosh! When the sword puppet relied on its powerful attacks to forcibly separate the three true lightning saints, Yi Qinfeng ignited his dragon bloodline, increasing his soul power by 7 times. He summoned the golden wings feather and drew a streak of light in the pitch-black night sky, suddenly closing in on one of them. In the next moment, the supreme-grade holy treasure 9 dragons, Jade Annulus, appeared on Yi Qinfeng's body. It fused with almost all of Yi Qinfeng's soul power and condensed into a deadly berserk dragon, which blasted out at close range. No. Sensing how terrifying the deadly berserk dragon was without the 9 dragons Jade Annulus, a look of despair appeared on the third true lightning brother's face. He crushed his universe ring and summoned all of his defensive trump cards to defend against the deadly berserk dragon's fatal attack. However, the deadly berserk dragon's attack power was too terrifying. The defensive trump cards that the third true lightning brother had summoned couldn't withstand it at all and were crushed by the deadly berserk dragon. Boom! The third true lightning brother was struck head-on by the deadly berserk dragon, and his body's defenses shattered like glass. The terrifying deadly berserk dragon broke into his body like a tidal wave, shattering his entire body and ending his life. Third true lightning brother seeing the third true lightning brother's body explode from the deadly berserk dragon, the 2 true lightning saints let out sorrowful cries. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that Yi Qinfeng's strength would be so terrifying. Not only did he counter their attacks, but he even killed the third true lightning brother in front of everyone. I'll take your life. The third true lightning brother's death completely enraged the 2 true lightning saints. They roared and burned their powerful bloodline and blood essence at all costs, raising their strength to the limit. They launched a fatal attack on Yi Qinfeng, who had exhausted almost all of his soul power and was weakened. They wanted to kill him and take revenge for the third true lightning brother. Water of heavenly secrets at this critical juncture. The sword puppet stood in front of Yi Qinfeng and helped him neutralize the true lightning 2 saints' attacks. At the same time, it took out the water of fate that it had prepared beforehand and drank a large mouthful of it to recover its almost depleted soul power. 10,000 Ghost Banner. Ghost King appears the sword puppet continued to nullify their attacks. Zhanlei and Zhanlei saints continued to inject their blood essence into the myriad ghost banner, increasing its power. Terrifying ghost kings were summoned one after another to attack the sword puppet. Fallen Soul, Bell feeling that the energy contained in the sword spirit puppet was constantly decreasing. Yi Qinfeng summoned the quasi-holy treasure Fallen Soul Bell. He controlled the Fallen Soul Bell to cover the sword spirit puppet, blocking the attacks of the ferocious ghost kings. Knock, 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 a huge bell rang in the dark night sky. Holy fire burned the sky, and holy thunder shook the world. Under Yi Qinfeng's ferocious attacks, the ghost kings in the myriad ghost banner were killed one after another. The true lightning 2 saints' attacks were completely suppressed, just as they were in a perilous situation without the support of the 3 Dao diagrams. The 9 Jiao dragon spirits in the 9 Jiao dragon diagram couldn't suppress the true mountain lay. The true mountain lay, crushed the Jiao dragon spirits, and broke free. Chaos divine would, chaos strike seeing that the true lightning mountain was summoned back by the true lightning two saints. The chaos divine would appeared in Yi Qinfeng's body. Under his control, it lashed out at the true lightning mountain. Boom! A thunderous sound rang out in the void. The terrifying sound made people tremble. Energy, like a volcanic eruption, spread out in the void. An entire space fell into chaos. The primal chaos divine would had continuously evolved. Its full power attack was comparable to a mid-grade sacred treasure. The true mountain lay, which was flashing with lightning, was sent flying by the primal chaos divine wood. Shocking cracks appeared on the huge mountain. What? Another holy treasure? Where did this guy come from? How could he have so many holy treasures on him? Witnessing the true lightning mountain being sent flying by the chaos divine wood, the true lightning two saints' hearts trembled. At this moment, their hearts were filled with regret. They regretted that they had been blinded by greed and rushed to kill Yi Qinfeng, causing themselves to fall into eternal damnation. Sword Puppet, restrain one person. Yi Qinfeng ordered the sword puppet to attack with all its might. Upon receiving the order, the sword puppet ignored the attacks of the true lightning two saints and approached the second true lightning brother. Under his horrified gaze, it reached out and grabbed his arm. In the next moment, the sword puppet circled behind the second true lightning brother and used its 4 limbs to temporarily restrict his movements. 9 Dragon Jade Annulus. Kill seizing the opportunity when the sword puppet forcibly restricted the second true lightning brother's movements. Yi Qinfeng once again injected the soul power that he had just recovered into the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus, condensing a murderous dragon and attacking the second true lightning brother. Boom! Heaven and earth erupted, startling the 9 heavens. A terrifying power fell to the ground like a meteor, directly destroying the second true lightning brother's body and killing him. Second brother seeing the second true lightning brother also being killed by Yi Qinfeng. The true lightning brother's eyes instantly turned blood red as he cried out in grief. Young master, it's not easy to stay here. Let's leave quickly. Witnessing Yi Qinfeng's display of might and killing the true lightning two saints, the Mirror Moon sex expert, who was hiding in the dark, ready to deal a fatal blow to Yi Qinfeng at any time, felt his heart tremble. Go! Although he was unwilling, Jingjiaki was indeed frightened by Yi Qinfeng's terrifying strength. He quickly followed the Mirror Moon sex expert and left this place. It's your turn. Yi Qinfeng drank another mouthful of heavenly fate water, quickly recovering his almost depleted soul power. He cast his gaze toward the true lightning brother, whose eyes were blood red and filled with killing intent. I want your lives. In the face of desperation, the true lightning brother didn't run. Instead, he used himself as a medium and merged into the myriad ghost banner, activating its strongest attack. Kill! A voice that seemed to come from hell rang out from the myriad ghost banner. After merging with the true lightning brother's body, the myriad ghost banner turned into a terrifying ghost dragon. It twisted its huge body and launched a fatal blow at Yi Qinfeng. Universe Strike. Facing the true lightning brother's final attack, Yi Qinfeng multitasked. He used his mind to control the fallen soul bell to block with all its might while controlling the 81 universe swords to merge together into a universe giant sword. He viciously slashed at the ghost dragon formed by the myriad ghost banner. The sword puppet and Xingluo's doppelganger also launched fatal attacks at the myriad ghost banner, damaging the true lightning brother who had merged with the myriad ghost banner. Boom! Boom! Under the all-out attack of Yi Qinfeng's 2 doppelgangers, the ghost dragon formed by the myriad ghost banner was forcibly blocked. The true lightning brother who had merged with the myriad ghost banner was also heavily injured. However, in order to avenge his 2 dead brothers, the true lightning brother went all out. He exploded his body and merged all of his blood into the myriad ghost banner, increasing the power of the ghost dragon. He forcibly tore through the attacks of Yi Qinfeng and the others and attacked Yi Qinfeng from close range. Boom! The ghost dragon viciously slammed into the 9 dragon jade annulus that Yi Qinfeng had placed in front of him. In the next instant, the 9 dragon jade annulus, which had fused with a large amount of soul power, unleashed its killing power, bombarding the 10,000 ghost banner with unparalleled ferocity. It forcibly tore apart the 10,000 ghost banner, wiping out Boss True Lightning's life force. Heaven-burning sacred flame, extinguish! As Yi Qinfeng was sent flying by the violent force, he spat out the heaven-burning sacred flame. It passed through the cracks of the myriad ghost banner and burned toward the true lightning brother. Ah! A painful roar resounded through the sky. Under the burning of the heaven-burning sacred flame, the true lightning brother, whose body had exploded, was burned alive. The 3 true lightning saints who had rampaged through the lightning territory for tens of thousands of years and gave the lightning clan endless headaches were all killed by Yi Qinfeng. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1267. Brother Yi Zhou Tianyi, who had activated his sword heart, saw Yi Qinfeng falling to the ground from the terrifying recoil. His heart tightened, afraid that an accident would happen. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement test while he was distracted. A sharp sword pierced through his body, causing a large amount of blood to spurt out. Go to hell! A level 3 war beast emperor roared, wanting to kill Zhou Tianyi in one go and end his life. However, at this critical moment, a blurry figure appeared beside Zhou Tianyi. When the level 3 combat beast emperor with a murderous aura saw this blurry figure, 2 of its 3 souls were scared out of its wits. Its eyes widened in disbelief. You, how could it be you? Looking at Yi Qinfeng, who appeared beside Zhou Tianyi, this level 3 combat beast emperor felt like he had seen a ghost. All the hair on his body stood on end. In his memory, Yi Qinfeng had just been heavily injured by Boss True Thunder's last attack. He should have fallen far away. It was impossible for him to appear in front of him. While he was panicking, Yi Qinfeng suddenly appeared and threw out a palm strike towards his head. No, you're not him. Who are you? Instinctively, this level 3 combat beast emperor defended with all his strength, blocking Yi Qinfeng's palm strike. Suddenly, he thought of something. At this moment, Zhou Tianyi, whose body was pierced, suddenly exerted his strength and merged with the power of his sword heart. He slashed out with his sword, creating a sharp sword light in the air, splitting his body into 2 halves. Blood splattered all over the ground, and he died on the spot. You're too heavily injured. Quickly go to the formation to heal yourself. Leave the rest to us. Yi Qinfeng twisted his body and looked at Zhou Tianyi, who was heavily injured and was struggling to hold on with his willpower, and ordered without any room for resistance. You, who are you? Zhou Tianyi covered his bleeding chest and asked as he looked at the person who looked exactly like Yi Qinfeng, his mirror image. As he spoke, an earth-shattering explosion came from the place where Yi Qinfeng fell. The masters of the major forces hiding in the dark seized the opportunity when Yi Qinfeng was injured and fell to the ground. They showed up one after another and controlled their Gu Dao treasure to attack him. They wanted to kill him in one fell swoop. Under the ferocious attacks of dozens of people, the whole earth trembled violently as if there was an earthquake. Like a meteor shower, Taoist treasures of various shapes and Gu Dao treasures completely destroyed the ground where Yi Qinfeng had fallen. The ground collapsed for hundreds of feet. That kid should be dead by now. Looking at the bottomless ground, the experts of the various major forces in the air let out long sighs of relief. Even a quasi-sacred artifact would not be able to withstand the attacks of dozens of Dao treasures and Gudao treasure at the same time. Nirvana's almighty beings would be able to shatter Hong City. Thinking up to this point, the experts from the various major powers quickly flew towards the cave that had collapsed by several tens of feet. They wanted to snatch the treasures in Yi Qinfeng's possession. Suddenly, strange formation flags appeared in the cave that was filled with destructive power. They directly sealed the collapsed ground space and trapped everyone. In the next moment, a pitch-black sword ray soared into the sky. It was as if the sea was overturning the world and tearing apart space. It killed 3 combat beast emperors with one strike. No, he's not dead. He's not dead. Looking at Yi Qinfeng, who was wearing a golden dragon robe and looked like the King of Swords, appearing in front of them, the dozens of Thunder territory masters who had sneak attacked Yi Qinfeng were stunned. They all fled towards the collapsed space. It was too late to escape. Yi Qinfeng formed a formation with a thought. 81 Qianquan swords flew out of his body. Under the deduction of the God-Eater brain, the sound of the great Tao played a chapter of death. Under his attacks, which were like the autumn wind sweeping away the fallen leaves, countless experts died. The terrifying sword might caused a vacuum to appear in the space. It was as if the entire space could not withstand Yi Qinfeng's attacks and could collapse and be destroyed at any time. Everyone, don't run for your lives. We can only have a chance of survival if we join forces and attack together. A Nirvana master covered in blood shouted. He wanted to gather everyone's strength and fight to the death with Yi Qinfeng. Would it be useful to have more people? Yi Qinfeng, who was wearing a low-grade saint robe, ignored the fierce attacks of the crowd. He held the dragon spine sacred sword and killed in the air. He kept reaping the lives of the masters. No, don't kill me. I beg you, don't kill me. I know I was wrong. As long as you don't kill me, I'm willing to be your slave. Yi Qinfeng's crazy killing scene crossed the line in the hearts of many people. Many people begged for mercy, begging Yi Qinfeng to spare their lives. However, Yi Qinfeng was never merciful to his enemies. He turned a deaf ear to their pleas and continued to kill. Soon, the collapsed space was filled with the thick smell of blood. Only the Nirvana old man, who was covered in blood and holding a snake spear, was left. Dark Serpent Spear. After seeing Yi Qinfeng's ruthless methods, the Nirvana old man knew that begging for mercy was useless. He fused the power of the 2 Tao diagrams into the snake spear in his hand. Like a spatial crack in the void, the spear pierced toward Yi Qinfeng's chest. Seeing that Yi Qinfeng's chest was pierced by the Dark Serpent Spear, more than 200 million pounds of strength erupted. The bronze sword's soul merged with the dragon spine's sacred sword. A black, dragon-like sword light flew out and heavily slashed the Dark Serpent Spear. The terrifying attack power directly sent the Nirvana realm old man flying. When the old man's body slammed into the stone wall behind him, a dazzling golden light flashed in front of his eyes. He instinctively threw out a punch, wanting to force Yi Qinfeng back. Crack! Yi Qinfeng's fist collided with the old man's fist. The power of over 200 million pounds and the power of death from the dead spirit bead directly shattered the old man's fist light and rushed into his arm. At the same time, the bones in his arm were crushed and the life force in his arm was severed. In the blink of an eye, the old man's arm withered. This strange scene caused him to fall into despair. Blood vitality, lifespan combustion, his injuries continued to worsen. The old man burned all of his blood vitality and lifespan to increase his strength to the greatest extent. This was his final struggle. However, Yi Qinfeng had too many means of attack. The Purple Beginnings' sacred thunder, the burning heavens' sacred flame, and the universe sword array continued to suppress the old man. After more than an hour, the old man, whose injuries were getting worse, could no longer resist. Yi Qinfeng's sword slashed open his body, killing him on the spot. Yi Qinfeng killed everyone like a blood-soaked Azura. Then he collected everyone's belongings and put away the formation flags that sealed the space into the universe mirror. Then he flew out of the collapsed space that gave off a pungent smell of blood and arrived outside. At this moment, under the attacks of the sword puppet, Xingluo's doppelganger, and the spiritual fish, 80% of the experts who came to kill Yi Qinfeng had been killed. A large amount of blood gathered into a stream of blood and broken limbs scattered on the ground. The entire space had turned into a purgatory on Earth. Tianyi, are you all right? Yi Qinfeng completely released his soul spirit and found that there was no one within a radius of a few miles. He kept the two doppelganger back into the universe realm and came to the side of Zhou Tianyi, whose body had been pierced and his injuries were not light. He asked with concern, "I'm fine." The pale Zhou Tianyi shook his head and said weakly, "Let's go back to the Zhou family." Yi Qinfeng fed Zhou Tianyi a healing pill to stabilize his injuries. He summoned the spirit boat and brought Zhou Tianyi and the other two out of this purgatory on Earth. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. The next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1268. True Thunder, 3 saints were dead. Other than the True Thunder 3 saints, nearly 100 of the experts who went to kill Yi Qinfeng died, and the place where they were killed became hell on earth. This news spread through the entire Golden Thunder region at lightning speed, and then spread through the entire Thunder region at a terrifying speed. Suddenly, the entire Thunder region was in an uproar, and Yi Qinfeng's name was even more shocking, and was well known by too many people. This news was conclusive. In the depths of the Holy Thunder City, in a palace-like building, a middle-aged man wearing a dark golden robe, with a tall stature and a domineering aura, heard this news. He frowned slightly, put down the sheepskin scroll in his hand, and looked at the handsome and extraordinary young man in front of him, and asked in a low voice. And this man was the current head of the Thunder Clan, and also a rare genius of the Thunder Clan. He cultivated for less than 1,000 years and broke through to Nirvana, Lei Zhongtong. Lei Zifen, who had inherited Lei Zhongtong's terrifying talent and cultivated for only a little more than 100 years before he reached the Nirvana realm, said respectfully, "Moreover, this person displayed his shocking wealth at the Golden Thunder City auction. He spent more than 100 billion high-grade soul crystals and 1.5 billion top-grade soul crystals to buy many treasures, including dragon meat and stone fruits." Lei Zhongtong asked in a low voice, "Did you find out that person's identity?" He would never allow such an unstable factor to appear in the Thunder region. According to the news from the 6th Elder, this person is most likely the person who killed Lei Chuanwang in front of the disciplinary elder, Lei Zifen said. It was actually him. Lei Zhongtong frowned even more. "Father, is this person really related to the great elder?" Lei Zifen asked, looking at Lei Zhongtong, who was lost in thought. "And this person is related to the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor. That day it was the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor who took the disciplinary elder away." Lei Zhongtong nodded and said, "And I also asked the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor about this matter, wanting to know his identity, but the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor didn't tell me. She only told me to restrain the Thunder Clan's people and try not to have any conflicts with him." Lei Zifen asked in surprise, "Does my Thunder Clan still want to meddle in this matter?" "Let me ask the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor and see what she thinks. If the Purple Lightning Great Ancestor insists on protecting that person, my Thunder Clan will not be able to touch him." With that, Lei Zhongtong put down the sheepskin scroll in his hand and slowly stood up. He then headed towards one of the Thunder Clan's forbidden areas, the immortal land where Lei Zidian cultivated in seclusion. At the same time, the Nangong family and the Mirror Moon sect were also in an uproar. "Gadge, you've met that man. Can you tell what he's really like?" An old man sat cross-legged on a steep mountain peak in the Mirror Moon sect. His aura was as heavy as a mountain, as if it could suppress everything. Reporting to the great ancestor, I really didn't see through him. I originally thought that he was only a 5th-level war beast emperor, but who would have thought that he actually had 2 terrifying clones? Even the 3 true Thunder Saints died at his hands. Recalling the scene from last night, Jingjiaki felt a lingering fear. He had a feeling that if he hadn't left early, he might have become a corpse. Who would have thought that such a terrifying figure would appear in my Thunder territory? He scared away the Sky Eagle Elder, slaughtered the 3 true Thunder Saints, and slaughtered nearly 100 cultivators. One of the 2 pillars of the Mirror Moon sect, Daoist Jinghua, said with a serious expression, "Great Ancestor, if you appear, can you kill this person?" Jingjiaki asked. Daoist Jinghua said, "Although I can't think of what method this person used to scare away the Sky Eagle Elder, the Sky Eagle Elder's strength is on par with mine. Even the Sky Eagle Elder chose to retreat. This is enough to prove that this person is very dangerous. However, if this person dares to come to my Mirror Moon sect, I have many methods to make him unable to return. Gadge, don't go out for a while. Stay in the Mirror Moon sect and cultivate. Wait until everything calms down before leaving." Daoist Jinghua valued Jingjiaki very much and was afraid that something would happen to him. Although Jiaqi was sullen, he was indeed a little afraid of Yi Qinfeng's strength and methods, so he obeyed. The entire Thunder territory was in an uproar because of Yi Qinfeng's massacre, but Yi Qinfeng, who was at the heart of the storm, didn't care. In the Thunder territory, as long as the Thunder clan didn't target him, Yi Qinfeng could do whatever he wanted in the Thunder territory. And with his relationship with the Black Lightning King, Yi Qinfeng believed that no matter how angry the Thunder clan was, they wouldn't target him. What's more, he killed the potential threats of the Thunder clan, which was equivalent to helping the Thunder clan clean up the tumor. "Young Master Yi, you are finally back." Although the Zhou clan was only a small force in the Thunder territory, they were very well informed. They immediately knew what happened outside the Golden Thunder City and were worried about the safety of Yi Qinfeng and the others. "Zhou clan master, I made you worry, but the matter has been resolved." Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile and said calmly, "Now that young Master Yi has been dealt with, how did you solve the problem?" "Zhou, Shanlong wanted to know what method Yi Qinfeng used to make so many experts retreat." "I killed them all," Yi Qinfeng said calmly, as if he was talking about something insignificant. "Gu killed them all." "Zhou," Shanlong gulped. He was completely stunned by this news. After returning to the west courtyard, Yi Qinfeng took a bath and washed away the smell of blood on his body. He then went to the universe mirror and called the King of Massacre, Mo Fengyan, and Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion over. "Blood River, this quasi-sage treasure, 10,000 Ghost Banner, is for you. Mo Fengyan, this Gu Dao treasure shield is for you. Jin Qing Dragon Bloodlion, this true Thunder Mountain is for you." Yi Qinfeng didn't keep anything for himself. He gave the 3 most precious treasures to the King of Massacre and the others. "Blood River, Mo Fengyan. After some time, I plan to return to the outer continent. At that time, I will leave you, the golden iron ape, and the horned flood dragon behind." Yi Qinfeng said, "Young Master Yi Qinfeng, you want us to control the outer continent?" Mo Fengyan asked. "Yes, I want you to secretly integrate the forces of the outer continent and control the resources of the outer continent." Yi Qinfeng nodded and said, "It shouldn't be difficult for Mo Fengyan to integrate the western continent, but it will be difficult for Blood River to control the eastern continent. But this time, when we return, I will help you control the EC Palace. As long as we control the EC Palace, the problem will be much simpler. Okay, you guys go back and cultivate. Try to break through before returning to the eastern continent," Yi Qinfeng said. After the 2 men and 1 beast left, Yi Qinfeng adjusted his breath for a while. He didn't study the stone fruit and dragon meat. Instead, he took out all the spiritual items needed to make the yin-yang elixir and threw them into the Suzaku cauldron. He spat out the sky-burning saint fire to purify the elixir. The yin-yang elixir was a top-grade Tao elixir. For Yi Qinfeng, it was not difficult to make. He spent about a day to refine all the ingredients and made 16 yin-yang elixirs. Although 16 elixirs were not a lot, for the Zhou clan, the yin-yang elixir was only a guide to guide the balance of yin and yang in their body. They only needed to mix the yin-yang elixir into water and take it. What's more, not many people in the Zhou clan had awakened their bloodline and physique at the same time. 16 yin-yang elixirs were enough. Okay, it's time to solve the hidden illness of Tian Yi and the others. Yi Qinfeng put the 16 yin-yang elixirs into the porcelain bottle and left the universe realm for Zhou Shanlong's courtyard. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the save button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1269. Gongziyi, why are you here? Zhou Shanlong, who was worried about retaliation, felt Yi Qinfeng's aura appear in the courtyard and immediately went out to greet him. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test Zhou family head. Are you worried that Zhou family will be retaliated against because of me? Seeing the deep worry on Zhou Shanlong's face, Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile and said, "A little." Zhou Shanlong did not deliberately hide it and nodded heavily. "Don't worry, as long as ThunderClan does not say anything. No one dares to touch your Zhou family at this time." Yi Qinfeng said, "Even Mirror Moon sect does not dare." Gongzi, what is your relationship with ThunderClan? Thinking about Yi Qinfeng cutting off Lei Chuanwang's legs in public, ThunderClan chose to remain silent. Zhou Shanlong was full of curiosity about his identity. "It doesn't matter, but I know a senior who has a very high position in the ThunderClan." Yi Qinfeng shook his head and said, "All right, Patriarch Zhou, don't worry. I will guarantee your Zhou clan's safety. These 16 yin-yang life pills are for you." Yin-yang life pills. Looking at the 16 yin-yang life pills in the porcelain bottle, Zhou Shanlong revealed a look of ecstasy. "Put the yin-yang life pills into water and take it. It can cure your body's hidden disease. Each pill can cure 3 to 4 people." Yi Qinfeng said slowly, Thank you, Gongzi. Your kindness to my Zhou family. We will never forget it." Zhou Shanlong bowed deeply to Yi Qinfeng and said gratefully, "This is what I promised your Zhou family's ancestor. Zhou family head does not need to be too polite." Yi Qinfeng smiled and said, "Well, Zhou family head, I am going to cultivate. If there is anything, you can find me at any time." Finished speaking, Yi Qinfeng left. Back in the universe space, Yi Qinfeng took out the stone fruit that he spent 1 billion top-grade soul crystals to buy, held the dragon spine sacred sword, and used all his strength to break the hard stone shell. Suddenly, a powerful life force pervaded the stone fruit. The life force was strong, several times stronger than the earth fate fruit that Yi Qinfeng obtained. This is a longevity fruit. After breaking open the stone shell, Yi Qinfeng saw a cherry-sized, dark green fruit with blood-red Tao runes on it. Looking at the shape of this fruit, Yi Qinfeng immediately recognized that this fruit was a type of life fruit recorded in the God-Eater Brain's inherited memories. Compared to the earth fate fruit, the value of the longevity increasing fruit was much higher. A mature longevity increasing fruit could increase one's lifespan by 10,000 years. For those old monsters whose lifespan was almost depleted, they were willing to pay any price to exchange for the longevity increasing fruit. Sure enough, I made the right bet. If this longevity fruit were to be auctioned, its price would probably exceed 10 billion top-grade soul crystals. Moreover, if the almighty figures of the Nirvana heavenly realm were to find out that I possessed this longevity fruit, I'm afraid they would never be able to live in peace. Yi Qinfeng sealed the longevity-increasing fruit in a spiritually filled porcelain box. After adjusting his breathing, he took out the ancient lightning root and swallowed it. He controlled the divine transformation of 9 transformations to refine it. The powerful spiritual energy within the ancient lightning root was refined into the Yongquan acupoint at the bottom of his feet, increasing the transformation speed of the true spirit bead. Rumble. In the process of refining the ancient lightning root, Yi Qinfeng's body constantly emitted deafening thunder. The extremely destructive power of the ancient lightning root was constantly destroying his body. However, after cultivating the divine transformation of 9 transformations to the astral body realm, Yi Qinfeng's body was comparable to a top-grade Tao artifact. The ancient lightning root's power was unable to destroy his body and internal organs. While Yi Qinfeng endured the pain and repeatedly used the divine transformation of 9 transformations to refine the ancient lightning root and temper his body, Zhou Shanlong melted the 8 yin-yang life pills into spirit liquid and distributed it to Zhou Tianyi, Zhou Shui, and the others. The efficacy of the yin-yang life pills far exceeded Zhou Shanlong's and the others' expectations. After taking the spirit liquid, Zhou Shanlong felt that the backlash between the true yang body and the snake transformation bloodline was getting weaker and weaker. After several days of transformation, the true yang body and the snake transformation bloodline in their bodies had completely merged. The hidden illness that had troubled the Zhou clan for countless years had been resolved. After resolving the hidden illness in their bodies, the Zhou clan had the initial hope of rising up. Just as the entire Zhou clan was immersed in deep excitement, Yin Ruoshi, accompanied by 2 earth insect experts, came to the Zhou clan mansion to visit Yi Qinfeng. After learning that Yi Qinfeng had started a massacre outside the Golden Thunder City and killed nearly 100 people, including the 3 true Thunder Saints, everyone in the Earth Yin sect was shocked. If Yi Qinfeng hadn't been able to resolve Yin Ruoshi's hidden illness, Yin Ruoshi definitely wouldn't have taken such a huge risk to see him at this juncture. Sect Master Yin, before I concoct the pill for you and cure your body's hidden illness, can I get a promise from you? Yi Qinfeng asked softly as he looked at the mature and charming Yin Ruoshi. Young Master Yi, please say it. As long as I can do it, I will definitely agree to it. Seeing how terrifying Yi Qinfeng was, Yin Ruoshi wanted to get closer to him, so she said happily, If the Zhou clan is in trouble in the future, please help the Earth Yin sect at the critical moment, Yi Qinfeng said. Okay, no problem. Yin Ruoshi nodded her head in agreement. Thank you. Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile and asked for the medicinal herbs collected by Yin Ruoshi. He returned to his room and summoned the Suzaku cauldron to refine the pill. Half a day later, Yi Qinfeng left the room and handed 3 dark, red, great Tao pills to Yin Ruoshi. He said, Sect Master Yin, you only need to take one of these 3 great Tao pills to cure your body's hidden illness. As for the remaining 2, keep them for emergencies. Thank you. Yin Ruoshi didn't expect Yi Qinfeng to succeed in refining the pills so quickly. Feeling the majestic medicinal power of the 3 great Tao pills, she believed in these 3 pills without a doubt. After getting the 3 great Tao pills that were very important to her, Yin Ruoshi didn't stay in the Zhou clan for long. She left after giving the Zhou clan some cultivation resources. After Yin Ruoshi and the others left, Yi Qinfeng called Zhou Tianyi, Zhou Shui, and Zhou Yuhan to his room. First, he used the 10,000 years immortal dew he got from the auction to cleanse their bodies and forcefully expel the excessive impurities in their bodies. Then he used the ancient accumulation fruit he cut from the accumulation stone and the 3 great Tao pills to increase their strength. Although the process of Yi Qinfeng forcefully increasing their strength was very painful, Zhou Tianyi and the others knew that this kind of opportunity was hard to come by. If they missed it, they would regret it for the rest of their lives. So they all gritted their teeth and persevered. Finally, the 3 of them persevered for 2 days and 2 nights. Zhou Shui and Zhou Yuhan both increased their realms. especially Zhou Yuhan. She was forcefully promoted from a 3rd-level Beast Emperor to a 5th-level Beast Emperor. Not long after the two women increased their realms, a large number of dark clouds suddenly appeared in the sky above the Zhou clan's mansion. An oppressive and terrifying aura shrouded the entire Zhou clan's mansion, making everyone in the Zhou clan feel as if there was a big stone pressing on their hearts, making it hard for them to breathe. Looking at the tribulation clouds that suddenly appeared, Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile. He said to Zhou Shui and Zhou Shui, who were pale with fright, "I'll take Tianyi to go through heaven's punishment. You guys wait in the Zhou clan's mansion." After saying that, Yi Qinfeng grabbed Zhou Tianyi, who was on the verge of breaking through, and flew up into the sky with him. They left the chaotic Zhou clan's mansion at an extremely fast speed and came to the mountains northwest of Yizhou City, ready to guard Zhou Tianyi to go through heaven's punishment. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark at the bottom to record this reading record. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1270. Tianyi, I think you should be clear about the benefits of passing the heavenly punishment. If you can pass the heavenly punishment, you can use the power of the heavenly punishment to temper yourself and deepen your comprehension of the Tao. You can also increase the power of your sword heart. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement test. If you can't pass the heavenly punishment, the risk is not small. Without great determination, it is impossible to pass. Yi Qinfeng looked at Zhou Tianyi, who was sitting cross-legged, and solemnly instructed, "Don't worry, big brother, I won't let you down. I will definitely pass the heavenly punishment." Zhou Tianyi tightly clenched his fist and said firmly, "Good, prepare with all your might." Yi Qinfeng nodded and stood outside the area where Zhou Tianyi was undergoing the tribulation. He released his powerful soul power and covered the surroundings to protect him. Whoosh, whoosh, the tribulation clouds in the sky became thicker and thicker. Endless gales spread out from the violently churning tribulation clouds, sweeping through the valley where Zhou Tianyi was. Dust filled the valley, rocks flew everywhere, and large patches of vegetation were uprooted. Rumble, rumble suddenly. A deafening sound of thunder rang out from the violently churning tribulation clouds. Endless wild lightning tore through the tribulation clouds, as if thousands of soldiers and horses had broken out of the tribulation clouds. With a terrifying destructive power, they bombarded the fearless Zhou Tianyi. Heavenly lightning, tribulation looking at the descending lightning. Yi Qinfeng knew that this was just a normal heavenly lightning tribulation. As long as Zhou Tianyi had a strong martial heart, he would definitely be able to pass it. Boom, 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 the heavenly lightning tribulation descended and instantly swallowed Zhou Tianyi. It crazily destroyed his body, wanting to shatter him. Snake transformation bloodline, ignition facing the attack of the heavenly lightning tribulation. Zhou Tianyi immediately ignited his snake transformation bloodline. A terrifying phantom of an ancient beast appeared on his body, increasing his strength. Dusk Cloud soared Codex after igniting his bloodline to withstand the attack of the heavenly lightning tribulation. Zhou Tianyi took out his king armament and used the first move of the Dusk Cloud Sword Codex that he had just comprehended. Shocking sword lights interweaved and tore apart the heavenly lightning tribulation, weakening its power. Zhou Tianyi fought for more than an hour and resisted the first attack of the heavenly lightning tribulation. However, his physical body could not be compared to Yi Qinfeng's. Under the crazy destruction of the heavenly lightning tribulation, his body was severely damaged, and many parts of his bones could be seen. Tianyi, take this low-grade ancient Tao pill. Seeing Zhou Tianyi's injuries, Yi Qinfeng rushed to Zhou Tianyi's side, who was covered in blood, before the second heavenly punishment descended, and fed him a low, rank ancient Tao pill that emitted a strong medicinal fragrance. Rumble it, was as if 10,000 bolts of lightning had exploded within the violently tumbling tribulation clouds, and an earth-shattering explosion rang out. A large amount of heavenly lightning broke through the tribulation clouds and bombarded Zhou Tianyi and Yi Qinfeng, who had barged into the tribulation area. Because Yi Qinfeng was too powerful, most of the lightning bolts were aimed at him. They wanted to kill Yi Qinfeng, who had barged into the tribulation zone. Yi Qinfeng pointed in the air, and the map of heaven and earth Tao shot out, circling above his head. The terrifying will of heaven and earth tore apart the hundreds of heavenly punishments that came crashing down and calmly retreated to the outside of the tribulation area. Just as Yi Qinfeng retreated, Zhou Tianyi, who had fused with the ancient Tao pill's medicinal energy and whose meridians had swelled up, let out a loud cry of pain. Enduring the immense pain, Zhou Tianyi held his king armament and madly attacked. He borrowed the power of the heavenly punishment to refine the medicinal energy of the ancient Tao pill, and used all his strength to break through to the rank 2 combat beast emperor realm. Although this process was extremely painful, Zhou Tianyi did not retreat. He relied on his powerful martial heart and bitterly persevered. Finally, Zhou Tianyi, who was covered in blood and on the verge of collapse after nearly 4 hours of baptism by the heavenly punishment and refining the medicinal energy in his body, broke through the bottleneck and broke through to the rank 2 combat beast emperor realm. After breaking through, Zhou Tianyi's heavenly punishment did not disperse. At this time, Yi Qinfeng once again barged into Zhou Tianyi's tribulation area and endured the heavenly punishment that was crazily attacking him. He took out 10 blood pearls that he had obtained in the abyss of hell and fused them into 10 of Zhou Tianyi's main acupoints. Rumble, sensing the appearance of the 10 blood pearls, the tribulation clouds that were about to disperse once again rumbled with thunder. Hundreds of lightning bolts broke through the tribulation clouds, increasing the power of the heavenly punishment, wanting to kill both Yi Qinfeng and Zhou Tianyi. Shua, facing the 10,000 zhang-long lightning bolts, Yi Qinfeng used his hand as a sword and slashed through the air. A terrifying sword light soared into the clouds, shattering all the lightning bolts that were attacking him, and retreating to the outside of the tribulation area. True Yang body, awakening facing the heavenly punishment that was increasing in power, Zhou Tianyi activated his true Yang body, increasing his physical strength and fighting with all his strength in the heavenly punishment. And there was something in this valley. While Zhou Tianyi was gritting his teeth and going through the tribulation with all his strength, the entire valley was destroyed beyond recognition by the terrifying heavenly lightning tribulation. The hard ground of the valley was continuously collapsing, and large amounts of intersecting cracks appeared. A dense spirit qi seeped out from the depths of the heavily damaged valley. This was the golden lightning stone mine. When Yi Qinfeng released his powerful soul force to forcefully penetrate through the cracks in the ground, he unexpectedly discovered a golden lightning stone mine at the bottom of the valley. Although it was only a preliminary detection, Yi Qinfeng had a feeling that this golden lightning stone mine hidden deep underground was very, very big. It definitely contained more golden lightning stones than the one the Zhou clan had discovered. However, the Zhou clan was currently too weak, and he couldn't stay here forever. This golden lightning stone mine might bring disaster to the Zhou clan. After thinking about it, Yi Qinfeng thought of a way to get the best of both worlds, and that was to let the Zhou clan and other forces develop this golden lightning stone mine together. Although jointly developing it would cause the Zhou clan to lose a large amount of resources. What the Zhou clan needed the most at this stage wasn't resources, but time. To be willing to give up a portion of the golden lightning stone mine in exchange for protection. This deal would only benefit the Zhou clan. The heavenly lightning tribulation became more and more intense, crazily destroying Zhou Tianyi's body. Under the baptism of the heavenly punishment, Zhou Tianyi continuously refined the remaining medicinal energy in his body and the energy of the 10 blood pearls, further increasing his strength. And under the tempering of the heavenly punishment, his sword heart became stronger and stronger, gradually showing signs of transforming. Finally, after Zhou Tianyi fought fiercely for half a day, his second heavenly punishment dispersed. At this time, there wasn't much energy left in the tribulation clouds. Zhou Tianyi only needed to withstand the last heavenly punishment, and he would be able to pass the heavenly punishment and be reborn. Rumble, the power of the heavenly punishment in the tribulation clouds quickly gathered, converging into a terrifying pillar of lightning. Like a roaring thunder dragon, it broke through the tribulation clouds and bombarded the heavily injured Zhou Tianyi. And this last heavenly punishment instantly drained all the energy in the tribulation clouds, and its power increased by several times. Mu Yun's sword cannon facing the last attack of the heavenly punishment, Zhou Tianyi ignored his injuries and activated the power of his sword heart, fusing it with his understanding of the way of the sword, and slashed out with the strongest sword attack he had mastered so far. An illusory sword light like a ray of sunset light shot up into the sky, slashing at the thunder dragon-like heavenly punishment, forcibly weakening its power. Although Zhou Tianyi's sword light was shattered by the heavenly punishment after more than 10 breaths of time, the heavenly punishment's power had decreased by nearly half and could no longer threaten Zhou Tianyi's life. In the end, the thunder, dragon-like, heavenly punishment disappeared after heavily injuring Zhou Tianyi. Zhou Tianyi relied on his unyielding belief and constantly transforming sword heart to pass the heavenly punishment, and rose to the peak of level 2 Beast Emperor in one fell swoop. On Sunday, Yun Lei will give out 20 password red packets on the official WeChat account. Those who want to add Yun Lei's official WeChat account, YLTY83, there are only 20 slots on Sunday, and Yun Lei will give out more in the future. Everyone, please take care of the official account. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1271. Not bad, not bad. Tianyi, you went through the heavenly punishment perfectly. I'll give you this Sword Dao tablet. Yi Qinfeng simply healed Zhou Tianyi's injuries and gave him the Sword Dao tablet that he had obtained earlier. Hunting Literature Network. Thank you, Big Brother, for protecting me. Zhou Tianyi said gratefully as he received the Sword Dao tablet. His face was slightly pale, but he was in good condition. Tianyi, look at what's under your feet. Yi Qinfeng said with a smile. Under my feet? Zhou Tianyi was stunned. He released his soul power and penetrated the crisscrossing cracks under his feet. Then his pale face revealed a look of disbelief. There's a golden lightning stone mine hidden under this valley? Because the valley's ground had been severely damaged by the heavenly punishment and had collapsed more than 30 meters, the restrictions protecting the golden lightning stone mine were damaged. Zhou Tianyi released his soul power and felt the powerful golden lightning energy. That's right. There's a golden lightning stone mine hidden under this valley. Although it's just a preliminary estimate, I feel that this golden lightning stone mine is very big. If you can open it, it will bring unimaginable wealth to your Zhou family. Yi Qinfeng nodded and said, That's great. Grandfather will be overjoyed when he knows about this. Zhou Tianyi said excitedly. Tianyi, don't be happy first. Let me ask you, do you think that with the Zhou family strength we can open 2 golden lightning stone mines at the same time? You have to know that the bigger the golden lightning stone mine, the more likely it is that there are powerful demonic beasts hidden in the mine. And your Zhou family doesn't have any experts guarding it. Yi Qinfeng looked at Zhou Tianyi's ecstatic expression and said slowly. Yi Qinfeng's words were like a basin of cold water, extinguishing the joy in Zhou Tianyi's heart. Using a common saying, one can't eat until one is fat. If the Zhou family wants to rise, we have to take one step at a time. If the steps are too big, Something will happen sooner or later. Yi Qinfeng reminded. Big brother, you mean to let my Zhou family open this golden lightning stone mine together with other forces? Zhou Tianyi understood Yi Qinfeng's meaning and said. Yi Qinfeng nodded and said, that's right. Working together to open up the golden lightning stone mine is the best solution. There are only benefits for your Zhou clan. There are no disadvantages. Big brother, who do you think we should look for to open the gold lightning stone mine? Zhou Tianyi asked. What do you think of the Nangong clan and the Earth Yin sect? Yi Qinfeng asked. The reason why Yi Qinfeng rejected the Thunder clan was because he didn't understand the Thunder clan. Before the Black Lightning King arrived, he didn't want to have too much contact with the Thunder clan. Although the Nangong clan and the Earthly Yin sect were powerful, with Yi Qinfeng's current strength, he could definitely deal with the threat of these two forces. Nangong family. Zhou Tianyi's eyes lit up. He couldn't help but think of Nangong Qingxue, who he yearned for day and night. Let's go back. It's up to your Zhou clan to decide how to open this mine. What I said just now was just my personal suggestion. With that, Yi Qinfeng and Zhou Tianyi left the heavily collapsed valley that had been destroyed by the heavenly punishment and returned to the Zhou family residence. When Zhou Shanlong learned that there was a large golden lightning stone mine to the northwest of Zhou Memory City, he was pleasantly surprised but also a bit worried. His thoughts were the same as Yi Qinfeng's. Although the golden lightning stone mine was good, the Zhou clan was powerless. It could be said that without Yi Qinfeng's appearance, the first golden lightning stone mine would have probably already been snatched away by the East River clan. Grandfather, big brother, Yi has suggested that my Zhou clan, the Earthine sect, and the Nangong clan open up the golden lightning stone mine together, said Zhou Tianyi. Yes, with my Zhou clan strength, opening up the golden lightning stone mine together with the other powers is indeed the best option. However, my Zhou clan doesn't have any relationship with the Nangong clan or the Earthine sect. I'm afraid, said Zhou Shanlong worriedly. Don't worry, Zhou clan head. This kind of good thing is like a meat pie falling from the sky. They won't refuse it. Yi Qinfeng smiled. Furthermore, Tianyi is acquainted with Nangong Qingxue and Yin Ruoshi. Why don't you have him go with you to pay a visit to the two powers? All right then. Tomorrow I'll bring Tianyi to pay a visit to the Nangong clan and the Earth Yin sect. Zhou Shanlong looked deeply at Yi Qinfeng. Then he stopped hesitating and made a prompt decision. I'll have my clone go with you. In order to avoid any accidents, Yi Qinfeng had the sword puppet accompany Zhou Shanlong to pay a visit to the two powers. After Zhou Shanlong's group left, Yi Qinfeng did not stay in the Zhou clan. Instead, he went to the mountains to the northwest and laid down a restriction to cover the golden lightning stone mine hidden in the valley to prevent others from discovering it. The night grew deeper and deeper, and the entire forest was silent. Only the chirping of the insects in the grass could be heard. A raging bonfire suddenly lit up the pitch-black mountain forest. Then a mouth-watering meat fragrance drifted in the mountain forest, attracting a lot of demonic beasts in the mountain forest. However, the sword intent emitted from Yi Qinfeng's body was too terrifying. None of the demonic beasts dared to approach him. They could only hide in the lush shrubs and watch from afar. Yi Qinfeng and the spirit fish Selenium were roasting the dragon meat until it was golden yellow. The dragon meat was dripping with oil. It was filled with spirituality, and the fragrance of the meat was overflowing. So delicious, this dragon meat is too delicious. The spirit fish's mouth was stuffed full of dragon meat. Its eyes were curved into the shape of a crescent moon as it ate with relish. A large amount of dragon meat entered their stomachs and immediately turned into pure dragon power. It fused into their bodies, making them feel warm and comfortable. Suddenly, a shadow flashed past Yi Qinfeng's sharp eyes. A blurry figure appeared beside the bonfire. With a light stroke of its finger, it cut off a piece of dragon meat that was emitting a thick fragrance and stuffed it into its mouth. Who are you? Why are you snatching our meat? There was not much dragon meat to begin with. Looking at the audacious man in black, the spirit fish was enraged. Its petite body emitted a thick, oppressive aura as it questioned fiercely. "Little girl, don't be so fierce. After eating your meat, I'll compensate you with something." The man in black, who had a square face and a thick black beard around his mouth, was skinny and had long arms. He revealed a mouthful of white teeth and said with a smile, "Who's going to compensate you? Spit out the meat that you ate." As she spoke, the spirit fish's petite body emitted a force of 100 million pounds. She threw a punch and the air surged. The terrifying fist radiance was like a meteor as it bombarded the man in black. "XIN2, you've got a temper." Although the spirit fish's punch was powerful enough to smash a mountain, there was no trace of panic on the man in black's face. With a light tap of his finger, he broke the 100 million pound fist radiance from the spirit fish and defused the attack of the spirit fish easily. Expert. Yi Qinfeng's pupils constricted as shock appeared on his cold face. Even he would not be able to break the spirit fish's punch so easily. "You're gifted and have great strength." The man in black's obsidian-like eyes shot out rays of light as he revealed a strange look. "Spirit fish, stop fooling around." Yi Qinfeng looked at the man in black, whose strength was unfathomable, and immediately shouted at the spirit fish, "You're from the Thunder Tribe, right?" The man in black tasted the delicious dragon meat and looked at the angry spirit fish as he asked, "No, we're not from the Thunder Tribe." Yi Qinfeng shook his head and said, "You're not from the Thunder Tribe, but you've got dragon meat. The two of you are not simple." The man in black took out a bottle of wine from his universe ring and took a big gulp. "Senior, you're not simple either," Yi Qinfeng said faintly. The man in black took out 2 more bottles of wine and threw them to Yi Qinfeng and the spirit fish. He was in a good mood as he said, "Ha ha, come, try my wine. Today, we'll only talk about romance and nothing else. Shameless old man, who wants to talk about romance with you?" The spirit fish curled his lips and took a big gulp of wine as he said fiercely. Although Yi Qinfeng was curious about the identity of the man in black, he was a smart person and did not take the initiative to ask. Instead, he chatted with the man in black about some interesting things. Soon, a large piece of dragon meat was divided into 3 equal portions and swallowed into their stomachs. The wine that the man in black had brewed was also emptied by them. "Great! I haven't been this happy in a long time." After eating and drinking to his heart's content, the man in black slowly stood up and said, "I don't know favors. Since I've eaten your dragon meat, I'll teach you a set of footwork. How much you can comprehend will depend on your talent." As he spoke, the man in black moved like a ghost under the dark night sky. In an instant, he transformed into dozens of afterimages and left 108 footprints on the ground. "All right, the 2 of you are awake. We'll meet again if fate wills it." As he spoke, the man in black's body flashed slightly and mysteriously disappeared into the night sky. Remember the website, San Wu Chinese Network. Chapter 1272. Damn it, that old B***starred is too despicable. He ate our dragon meat and ran away. The spirit fish looked at the black-robed man disappearing into the night sky. She gritted her teeth, puffed up her cheeks and gritted her teeth. That man's strength is unfathomable. I suspect that he has reached the nirvana heavenly realm. The God-Eater brain had undergone many transformations and was extremely terrifying. However, Yi Qinfeng had tried to sense the man in black several times, but he still couldn't sense his true strength. "Brother Qinfeng, do you think that he is plotting something against us by appearing out of nowhere and snatching our dragon meat?" The spirit fish's pink face revealed a trace of surprise as she guessed. "No, I think he was just attracted by the delicious dragon meat." Yi Qinfeng shook his head and said, "Let's go and see what kind of footsteps he left behind." As he spoke, Yi Chen-fong and the spirit fish came to an open space not far away and found 108 footsteps of the same depth and special tracks. What mysterious footsteps! When Yi Chen-fong closed his eyes and controlled the God-Eater brain to deduce the seemingly messy 108 footsteps, he was immediately deeply attracted. He had a feeling that the 108 footsteps left by the man in black were even more mysterious than the divine sword steps. Its value was immeasurable. Who is this man? Someone who could leave behind such mysterious footsteps was definitely a famous figure in the central continent. However, Yi Chen-feng's understanding of the central world was limited, so he couldn't guess the man's identity. Spirit fish, since we have nothing to do, let's slowly figure out this set of footsteps. If we can figure it out, it will be of great help to us, Yi Chen-feng suggested. Yes, the spirit fish was also someone who knew what was good for her. She had long been attracted by this set of mysterious footsteps and nodded her little head. Time passed day by day. Yi Chen-feng and the spirit fish were like two statues, sitting cross-legged beside the 108 footsteps and controlling their sole power to figure it out. Although this set of footwork was more profound than the sword footwork, it was more useful to Yi Chen-feng, who majored in swordsmanship. He used the powerful deduction ability of the God-Eater brain to try to fuse this set of profound footwork with the sword footwork and increase the level of the sword footwork. The spiritual fish was also trying to integrate this set of footwork with the 8 divine ape shadows. Soon, more than a month had passed. After more than a month of comprehension, Yi Chen-feng and the spirit fish both had new insights and improved the level of their sword steps and 8 divine ape shadows. It was especially so for Yi Chen-feng. With the help of the God-Eater brain, he had forcefully raised his sword steps by 2 levels and cultivated it to perfection. With a single step, he could instantly increase his speed by 10 times. The power of the offensive sword patterns formed by the sword diagram under his feet would also increase exponentially. Just as Yi Chen-feng and the spirit fish were comprehending this set of profound footwork and increasing their strength, Zhou Shanlong and Zhou Tianyi, accompanied by the sword puppet, returned to the Zhou residence. Just as Yi Chen-feng had expected, the Nangong family and the Earthine sect couldn't refuse the gift that was sent to their doorstep. They both agreed to develop the gold lightning stone mine with the Zhou family and promised to establish a long-term cooperative relationship with the Zhou family. They both sent people to Zhou Memory City to discuss the development of the gold lightning stone mine. After consuming Yi Chen-feng's great Dao pill, which cured Yin Ruashi's hidden illness, she valued Yi Chen-feng even more. She personally came to Zhou Memory City to discuss the development of the gold lightning stone mine. However, the Nangong family only sent the 2 siblings, Nangong Qingxue and Nangong Su, as well as 2 guards in charge of their safety. They more or less looked down on the Zhou family. Yin sect master, Miss Nangong young master, this gold lightning stone mine was discovered by the Zhou family. However, the Zhou family strength is limited, and we can't develop it alone. Therefore, we want to cooperate with you. Therefore, the Zhou family wants 40% of the gold lightning stone mine. Zhou Shanlong invited Yin Ruashi and Nangong Qingxue to the meeting hall. He ordered people to serve them spiritual tea and discuss the most important issue of distribution. The Earth Yin sect has no objection. Yin Ruashi was the first to speak. I have an objection. Right when Zhou Shanlong cast his gaze toward the Nangong siblings, Nangong Su, who was wearing gorgeous clothes, had a handsome appearance, and had an arrogant expression on his face, spoke. Young Master Nangong, do you think my distribution is unreasonable? Zhou Shanlong frowned slightly and asked politely, Yes, the Nangong family must have 60% of the gold lightning stone mine. Nangong Su took a sip of spiritual tea and said arrogantly, Hee, Nangong Su, your Nangong family has a big appetite. Yin Ruashi showed a playful smile and said, I don't know if this is the Nangong family master's idea or your idea. Of course, it is my father's idea, and I also agree with my father's suggestion. Nangong Su looked at the charming Inruashi and said with a smile, I'm sorry, young Master Nangong, but I can't agree with your distribution plan. Although he chose to cooperate with the Nangong family and the Earthine sect, Zhou Shanlong also had his own bottom line. If the Nangong family really took 60% of the gold, Inruashi would not agree. Zhou family head, you just said that your Zhou family doesn't have the ability to develop the gold lightning stone mine alone, so you chose to cooperate with us. In other words, you want to reap the benefits of others, but you don't want to contribute people, nor do you want to take 40% of the gold lightning stone. Do you think it's appropriate? Nangong Su didn't pay attention to Nangong Qing Shui, who was frowning. He waved his jade fan and said in a hedonistic manner, Young Master Nangong, you have to know one thing. This gold lightning stone mine is within my Zhou family's sphere of influence. It is my Zhou family's private property. Is it not reasonable for us to take 40%? Zhou Shanlong was a little annoyed and said in a low voice, Of course it's not reasonable. This gold lightning stone mine appearing within your Zhou family's sphere of influence can only mean that your Zhou family is lucky. However, to some weak forces, being lucky may bring about a fatal disaster. Nangong Su said rudely. Nangong Su, what do you mean? Zhou Tianyi could not bear to listen anymore and asked angrily. My meaning is very simple. Zhou family is too weak. Taking 40% of the gold lightning stone mine will only bring about a fatal disaster. If you want to be safe, I feel that taking 10% is enough. Nangong Su smiled faintly and said arrogantly, Young lady Nangong, you also have the same meaning. Looking down on my Zhou family, Zhou Tianyi said angrily as he clenched his fists and looked at Nangong Qingxue, who was biting her lips and choosing to remain silent. Young Master Zhou, don't be angry. If you don't agree, I will contact my father and tell him your intentions. We can slowly discuss it. Nangong Qingxue faced Zhou Tianyi's angry eyes and bit her red lips. No need to go through so much trouble. I have decided not to cooperate with your Nangong family. Although Zhou Tianyi did not want to have a conflict with Nangong Qingxue, Nangong Su's rudeness completely angered him. Humph, you think you can stop just because you say so? Nangong Su smirked and said arrogantly, The Nangong family is not a family that anyone can mess with. If you piss us off, I promise that your Zhou family will not be able to bear the consequences. My Zhou family is not afraid of you. If you want to take revenge on my Zhou family, then come. Zhou Tianyi looked at Zhou Shanlong, who was livid, and said tit for tat. Zhou family head, do you think so too? Nangong Su glanced at Zhou Tianyi with disdain and then looked at Zhou Shanlong. I will answer you for Zhou family head. Zhou family will cancel the cooperation with Nangong family. You can leave now. If you want to take revenge, then come. At this moment, a voice as sharp as an unsheathed sword suddenly sounded. At this crucial moment, Yi Chin Feng and the spiritual fish appeared. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this reading. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1273. Young Master Yi looking at Yi Chen Feng, who was wearing a white robe and had a body as straight as a cypress pine. Nangong Qingshue's face slightly changed and immediately stood up. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement testes for Yin Ruashi. The instant Yi Chen Feng appeared, she stood up. However, on her charming face, there was a smile of schadenfreude. With her understanding of Yi Chen Feng, she knew that Nangong Su was going to be in trouble. Who are you? You don't have the right to speak here. Nangong Su didn't know Yi Chen Feng. He leaned on the armchair and looked at Yi Chen Feng with disdain. Little brother, don't be rude to young Master Yi. Nangong Qingxue knew how scary and ruthless Yi Chen Feng was. Although in her subconscious mind, Yi Chen-feng was far from being Nangong family's opponent, but she really didn't want to be Yi Chen-feng's enemy. It turned out that Nangong Su was used to riding roughshod over others. Relying on Nangong family support, he didn't put Yi Chen-feng in his eyes. He said coldly, "I heard the true thunder 3 saints died in your hands. Is that true?" "That's right. I killed the true thunder 3 saints." Yi Chen-feng's pupils shrunk into the most dangerous pinholes, revealing a trace of a dangerous smile, and said, "Although I don't know what method you used to kill the true thunder 3 saints, but although the 3 saints are powerful, my Nangong family still has people who can kill him directly." Nangong Su didn't stand up. He slightly raised his head and said, "Are you warning me not to provoke your Nangong family?" Yi Chen-feng smiled and said, "That's right. If you offend my Nangong family, I'll let you die without a burial ground." Nangong Su said arrogantly, "Shut up." Nangong Qingshue's face changed. She wanted to stop Nangong Su from talking nonsense. Slap! The crisp sound of a slap rang out. Yi Chen-feng suddenly raised his hand and slapped Nangong Su's face, sending him flying. His body flew in a beautiful arc in the air before crashing into a pillar in the distance. With a muffled sound, Nangong Su fell to the ground. Blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. 2 slightly yellowed teeth, mixed with blood, fell to the ground. It was a ghastly sight. Second young master, the 2 Nirvana Almighties in charge of protecting Nangong Su, were immediately enraged when they saw Yi Chen-feng send Nangong Su flying. 2 terrifying ancient beast phantoms appeared on their bodies. They were about to capture Yi Chen-feng and hand him over to Nangong Su for her to deal with. Before the 2 of them could make a move, the sword puppet, who had been standing at the side, opened its eyes. Its aura erupted like a volcano, and its entire body was like an unsheathed sword, incomparably sharp. Its terrifying killing intent made all the hairs on their bodies stand on end. "Stop, all of you stop." What Nangong Qingxue was most worried about happened. She was afraid that the situation would worsen. So she quickly stood in front of the 2 Nirvana Almighties and shouted, "Damn it, you dare to hit me?" Nangong Su covered his sunken face as he glared at Yi Chen-feng. At this very moment, he still couldn't believe that Yi Chen-feng really dared to hit him. "This isn't a place for you to behave atrociously. If you speak any more nonsense, I'll kill you." Yi Chen-feng coldly looked at Nangong Su, who was bleeding from the corner of his mouth, and said without a trace of emotion, Good, you have guts. Just wait for my Nangong clan's revenge. I guarantee that you'll regret going against me." Nangong Su gnashed his teeth and threatened, "I'm not even afraid of the Lightning Clan. Why would I be afraid of your Nangong clan?" Yi Chen-feng sneered. After saying that, Yi Chen-feng took heavy steps and walked towards Nangong Su, whose expression slightly changed. "Young Master Yi, I think today is a misunderstanding. I'll do my best to fight for the Zhou clan's share." Sensing Yi Chen-feng's killing intent towards Nangong Su, Nangong Qingxue immediately used her body to block him and said with a pleading tone, "What were you doing earlier?" Yi Chen-feng coldly looked at Nangong Qingxue's exquisite face and said coldly, I, Nangong Qingxue, actually had her own selfish motives. She also wanted the Zhou clan to make concessions and obtain more benefits for the Nangong clan. However, she didn't expect that the insufferably arrogant Nangong Su would directly worsen the situation. She somewhat regretted letting Nangong Su come. "Nangong Qingxue, don't think that you can be fearless just because Tian Yi likes you. With Tian Yi's talent, sooner or later, he'll stand at the peak of the Lightning territory. At that time, it won't be him who isn't worthy of you, but you who isn't worthy of him." Yi Chen-feng impolitely lectured Nangong Qingxue, who wanted to speak, but stopped. "Don't flatter him. How can a trash like him stand at the peak of the Lightning territory?" Nangong Su said with disdain. "Nangong Su, shut up." Nangong Qingxue said with a commanding tone, "Sister, no need to go through so much trouble. Let me make him shut up." As he spoke, an illusion Tao diagram appeared behind Yi Qinfeng. His deep eyes shot out a large amount of illusion Tao intent that penetrated Nangong Su's eyes and instantly bewitched his soul. In the next moment, under the control of Yi Qinfeng's will, the muddle-headed Nangong Su began to slap himself. Moreover, during the process of slapping himself, he didn't show any mercy and used all his strength. Very soon, his entire face was slapped by himself until it was unrecognizable. A large amount of blood uncontrollably flowed out from his mouth. Young Lord looking at Nangong Su, whose facial injuries were getting more and more serious. The two Nirvana Almighty experts who were responsible for his safety couldn't remain calm anymore. They disregarded the threat the sword puppet posed to them and were about to attack. However, the sword puppet's speed was even faster. It intercepted them in the blink of an eye and transformed into a sword and slashed out a sword ray. Immediately, a ripple appeared in the space. The terrifying sword ray directly tore apart their attacks and sent them flying. A large amount of blood spurted out from their bodies. Young Master Yi, this is all Nangong Su's fault. I beg you to let him go. I promise to give you and the Zhou clan an explanation. Seeing their two strongest experts sent flying by the sword puppet, Nangong Qingxue guessed the strength of the sword puppet and was afraid. She couldn't help but beg for mercy. She was afraid that Yi Qinfeng would kill Nangong Su. No need to go through so much trouble. Yi Qinfeng shook his head and said coldly. An intense killing intent towards Nangong Su arose. Young Master Zhou, I beg you to advise young Master Yi. My second brother has been spoiled by my father and doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. However, if something happens to him in your Zhou clan, it will definitely anger my father and cause immeasurable consequences. It will also bring endless trouble to the Zhou clan. Seeing that Yi Qinfeng wasn't moved, Nangong Qingxue had no choice but to ask Zhou Tianyi for help. Big brother, forget it. Let Nangong Su live. Although Zhou Tianyi was furious, he didn't want things to develop into a situation where only one of them would die. Fine. As he spoke, Yi Qinfeng stepped out with his sword steps and instantly appeared beside Nangong Su, who was continuously slapping his face. His palms surged with nearly 100 million gene of strength as he ruthlessly slapped Nangong Su's shoulder, forcefully bending his body and knocking his knees into the hard ground. Kacha! Nangong Su's knee directly shattered 2 pieces of hard ground. A large amount of blood flowed out from his shattered knee. The inhuman pain caused Nangong Su, who lost his soul, to instantly wake up. He let out a painful howl like a pig being slaughtered. Nangong Qingxue, I will give Tianyi face and won't kill him today. However, if there is a next time, even the heavens won't be able to save his life. Yi Qinfeng kicked Nangong Su, who was howling in pain, to Nangong Qingxue's feet and coldly warned, Thank you, young Master Yi. Thank you, young Master Zhou. I am truly sorry for the unpleasantness that happened today. However, I promise that I will definitely give an explanation to the Zhou clan. Nangong Qingxue helped Nangong Su, who had his knee shattered and was heavily injured up. She excused herself and left in a somewhat sorry state. Saturday Cloud Tears Club 10 updates. Asking for red packets on Sunday. WeChat official account 20 red packets. Those who want them can come to official account. YLTY83 to snatch or official account to search for Cloud Tears Rain. Mobile reading site. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1274. I'm sorry, big brother, I've troubled you again. Looking at Nangong Qingxue's departing figure, Zhou Tianyi's eyes revealed bitterness and sadness as he said apologetically, It's okay, it's just the Nangong family, it's not much trouble. Yi Qinfeng smiled. He didn't put the Nangong family in his eyes at all. Yi Qinfeng's tone was very big. Yin Ruashi also felt that Yi Qinfeng had the strength. It was indeed not a wise choice for the Nangong family to provoke such a big enemy for no reason. Master Een, let's sit down and continue to talk about cooperation. Yi Chinfeng looked at the beautiful and dangerous Een Ruashi, who was wearing a tight black dress, like a thorny rose, and said in a low voice, "How much is young master Yi willing to give to my earth Een sect?" Een Ruashi deliberately sat beside Yi Chinfeng, looking at him charmingly, and asked in a charming voice, "It depends on Master Zhou's intention." Yi Chinfeng didn't want to steal the limelight and gave the decision to Zhou Shanlong. "Master Een, if you sincerely cooperate, my Zhou family is willing to give the Earth Een sect 50% of the shares." Nangong family's withdrawal made Zhou Shanlong raise the Earth Een sect share, using benefits to tie the Earth Een sect and Zhou family together. "Ha ha ha! Thank you for your generosity, Master Zhou. Then it's settled. When the time comes, my Earth Een sect will invite a Taishang elder to oversee this place and clean up the danger in the gold lightning stone mine." Een Ruashi showed a satisfied smile and discussed the cooperation plan with Zhou Shanlong. In the evening, Een Ruashi, who reached an agreement with Zhou Shanlong, left Zhou City accompanied by several Earth Een sect masters to go back to make arrangements. At the same time, seeing Nangong Su's miserable state, the Nangong family's master, Nangong Zheng, who had cultivated to the peak of nirvana, was furious. He roared angrily, "They've gone too far. This Zhou family has gone too far. Not only did they go back on their words, they also injured Su Er. My Nangong family must take revenge. I will destroy the Zhou family. Father, please listen to me." Looking at the enraged Nangong Zheng, Nangong Qingshui lightly sighed and said, "This time it was indeed Di who went a bit too far. Moreover, that Yi Chinfeng is definitely not an ordinary person. I don't recommend to have a direct confrontation with him. Qingshui, you don't need to worry about this. Go back and rest." Nangong Zheng frowned as he looked at Nangong Qingshui and said coldly, "Father, that Yi Chinfeng has a clone that is suspected to be Nirvana, and not long ago there was a rumor that the Thunder clan suffered a great loss in the Zhou family. Protector Zhou Ming was killed, and both of Lei Chuanwang's legs were cut off. But the Thunder clan did not take revenge. This is probably related to Yi Chinfeng." Nangong Qing Shui kept persuading. She didn't want the Nangong family to have an even more intense conflict with Yi Chinfeng. "I also heard about this matter, but I feel that the truth does not match the rumors. Even if that brat came from one of the 3 divine kingdoms and was a prince of one of the 3 divine kingdoms, he would not dare to be so arrogant in the Thunder Dominion." Nangong Zheng shook his head and said stubbornly, "Even if that matter does not match the rumors, the truth under 3 saints did indeed die in the hands of Yi Chinfeng. His strength is very terrifying." Nangong Qing Shui continued, "All right, Qingshui, I see that you are tired. Go back to your room and rest." Nangong Zheng didn't continue arguing with Nangong Qingshui and ordered people to send her back to her room to rest. "Patriarch, what are you going to do?" After Nangong Qingshui left, the Nangong family's great elder, the dark-skinned and tower-like Nangong Zue, asked, "Hire experts to assassinate the Yi Chinfeng." Nangong Zheng's eyes flickered with cold light as he said, "Those who offend my Nangong family must pay with blood." "This is a good idea. Maybe we can uncover his true identity by borrowing a knife to kill him." Nangong Zue nodded in agreement. "Great Elder, tomorrow bring 100 million top-grade soul crystals to the dead demon pool and ask the insect demon to act. If he can kill the Yi Chinfeng, I will give him another 100 million top-grade soul crystals." Nangong Zheng pondered for a moment and said, "The insect demon mentioned by Nangong Zheng was one of the Thunder Territory's 3 ferocious men. He committed all kinds of crimes. The number of cultivators who died in his hands exceeded several tens of thousands. Most of these people were captured by him and used their flesh and blood to raise poisonous insects called gold-devouring bugs. The insect demon's savagery once angered the Thunder Clan, who sent experts to kill him. However, the insect demon was a powerful expert of nirvana. Moreover, the gold-devouring bugs he raised ate everything. He was very terrifying. The Thunder Clan couldn't do anything to him and failed to kill him in the end. This made his ferocious name even more famous. However, such a ferocious man had a good personal relationship with Nangongjung. They had secret dealings and killed many people for the Nangong family. He also obtained a large amount of cultivation resources through the Nangong family. In the southern part of the Thunder Territory, there was a dead demon pool that exuded a dense aura of death. This dead demon pool was called the Dead Demon Pool, and it was one of the insect demon's secret cultivation grounds. Nangong Zue! Where did this Yi Chenfeng come from? You were actually willing to spend 100 million top-grade soul crystals to hire me to kill him. The insect demon was wearing a black robe. His skin was even more delicate than a woman's, and his long black hair casually draped over his shoulders. He was drinking a cup of blood-red spirit tea as he looked at the slightly nervous Nangong Zue. Those who had never seen the insect demon would never imagine that the insect demon that was feared in the Thunder Territory would be such a handsome man. Behind the insect demon was a man and a woman who were on the verge of death. Their bodies were covered in gold-devouring bugs. These two were once famous geniuses of the Thunder Territory. They were also siblings from the same mother. However, they had unfortunately encountered the insect demon and were captured by him. They became nutrients for the gold-devouring bugs and were tortured to the point where they wished they were dead. For them, death had become an extravagant hope. Living was the most terrifying thing. Every second they lived, they had to endure unimaginable pain. This Yi Chenfeng's identity is a bit mysterious. We investigated many ways, but were unable to find out his true identity. However, this person's strength is terrifying. The 3 true Thunder Saints died at his hands. Moreover, it is suspected that he has a clone of Nirvana. Looking at the insect demon's handsome face, Nangong Zue told him all the information he had on Yi Chenfeng. The 3 true Thunder Saints were dead. The insect demon revealed a hint of surprise. He had fought with the 3 true Thunder Saints before. Although he had defeated them in the end, he had also been injured by the 3 true Thunder Saints. It could be said that without the gold-devouring bugs, he was only slightly stronger than the 3 true Thunder Saints. Yes, not only had the 3 true Thunder Saints died, but he had also killed nearly 100 cultivators in that battle. There were also rumors that the Thunder Tribe had suffered greatly at his hands. Nangong Zue nodded. The Thunder Tribe didn't take revenge on him? The insect demon showed a hint of interest as he asked. No, the Thunder Tribe didn't take revenge on him. Moreover, 2 days ago he shattered Nangong Su's legs in front of all the Nangong family masters, almost killing him. He was extremely arrogant. Nangong Zue shook his head and said, Our clan leader said that if you can kill Yi Chenfeng, our clan leader will give you 100 million top-grade soul crystals as a reward. Interesting. I didn't expect such an interesting person to appear in the Thunder Territory while I was in seclusion. The insect demon revealed a playful smile and said, Go back and tell Nangongjung that I accept this mission. In 7 days, I will bring his head to the Nangong family to collect the reward. Okay, here is all the information on Yi Chenfeng. We will wait for your good news at the Nangong family. Nangong Zue glanced at the naked man and woman covered in gold-devouring bugs, who had already broken down mentally. He shook his head, left all the information on Yi Chenfeng, and turned to leave. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1275. Mr. Yi Master Zhou, this is the great elder of the Earth Een sect. Yin Juyao a powerful figure of nirvana. In the entire Thunder Territory, there are only a few masters who can defeat Great Elder Yin Juyao. 3 days later, Yin Ruashi returned to the Zhou mansion with a skinny old man in a gray robe who looked very inconspicuous but gave off a gloomy and cold feeling. With a senior presiding over the situation, all the problems would be solved. Knowing that the Earth Yin sect sent the only great elder of Nirvana to preside over the situation, Zhou Shanlong was overjoyed and said politely, "You are Yi Qinfeng, right?" Yin Juyao cast his eyes on Yi Qinfeng, secretly sizing him up, and said slowly, "I heard that the 3 saints of true thunder died in your hands." "I killed the 3 saints of true thunder." Yi Qinfeng nodded and said neither arrogantly nor humbly, as if he was talking about a trivial matter, "Sure enough, heroes come from young." Looking at Yi Qinfeng's calm face, Yin Juyao showed a trace of appreciation and said, "If I didn't guess wrong, you are not from the Thunder Territory, right?" "Well," Yi Qinfeng nodded. "Then why did you come to the Thunder Territory?" Yin Juyao's turbid eyes shot out rays of light, and he looked at Yi Qinfeng and asked. "For the Zhou family." Looking into Yin Juyao's eyes, Yi Qinfeng said frankly, "The Zhou family is blessed." Yin Juyao was stunned, and a profound smile appeared on his old face. With the arrival of Yin Juyao, the haze in the hearts of the Zhou family members disappeared. After the discussion between Yin Ruashi and Zhou Shanlong, the next morning, the 2 forces began to excavate the golden thunderstone mine discovered by Yi Qinfeng, and all the dangers in the stone mine were solved by Yin Juyao. The night was like a thick ink, so deep that it couldn't be dissolved. In the dead of night, Yin Ruashi, who was wearing a tight black dress that outlined her beautiful curves, came alone to the west courtyard where Yi Qinfeng practiced. "Master Yin, what brings you here so late at night?" Looking at her snow-white skin glistening under the moonlight and smelling the rich fragrance on her body, Yi Qinfeng couldn't help but praise her. This Yin Ruashi was definitely a seductress who could easily arouse the flames in men's hearts. If she was willing, there would be many who would be willing to prostrate themselves under her skirt. "Young Master Yi, I came here in the middle of the night to remind you that Nangong Zheng is a very narrow-minded person. You humiliated his most beloved son in public. With my understanding of him, he will definitely take revenge." Yin Ruashi fiddled with the long hair hanging in front of her chest. Her red lips slightly parted as she slowly said, "Thank you for your reminder, Sect Master Yin. However, since I dared to injure Nangong Su, I am not afraid of the Nangong clan's revenge." A confident smile appeared on Yi Qinfeng's handsome face. His deep eyes flashed with an aura that could conquer mountains and rivers. It was as if everything was under his control. "Young Master Yi, I really want to know what kind of person you are. I've never seen someone as captivating as you." Yin Ruashi held her chin with one hand and looked at Yi Qinfeng affectionately. At this moment, her charming appearance was completely revealed. "Master, Yin wouldn't be interested in me, right?" Yi Qinfeng looked at Yin Ruashi's charming eyes and asked with a slight smile, "What if I say yes?" The smile on Yin Ruashi's face became wider as she teased. The result would probably disappoint Master Yin. Yi Qinfeng said with a smile, "Why does young Master Yi dislike me so much?" Yin Ruashi wasn't angry. She asked softly as if she had already expected this answer. This wasn't the case. Yi Qinfeng shook his head and said, "With Master Yin's charm, I think there are many people in the Thunder Territory who would be willing to work for you. But when you spoke just now, I didn't see any desire in your eyes, only benefits." "Ha ha ha! I didn't expect young Master Ye's observation to be so meticulous." Yin Ruashi let out a series of crisp laughter and said, "My earthly Yin sect does have the intention to rope in young Master. For young Master, we are willing to oppose the Nangong family. Actually, you don't have to go through so much trouble. I won't be in the Thunder Territory for too long, but I want to find a loyal ally for the Zhou family. Is Master Yin interested?" Yi Chenfeng looked at Yin Ruoshi's beautiful face and asked softly. Yin Ruoshi asked, "Young Master Ye's bargaining chip is Yin Ruoshi. Before I leave, I will increase the overall strength of the earthly Yin sect by a lot." Yi Chenfeng promised. Yin Ruoshi's eyes lit up and said, "Young Master Yi, this is a serious matter. I can't make the decision alone. Can you let me discuss it with the Taishang elder?" Yi Chenfeng nodded and said, "But I don't want to wait too long." After Yin Ruoshi left with a fragrance that made people's imagination run wild, Yi Chenfeng got rid of all distracting thoughts and began to cultivate. He believed that with Yin Ruoshi's intelligence, she would definitely agree. Just as Yi Chenfeng took an ancient path pill and cultivated with the soul-devouring tactics until dawn, he suddenly opened his closed eyes and looked at the dark night sky through the window. The next moment, Yi Chenfeng's body flashed slightly and left the room, appearing in the dark night sky. At this moment, Yin Jiao, the supreme elder of the earthly Yin sect, also appeared at the first moment as he sensed the danger. He was confronting a handsome and elegant man in a dark green robe, but his robe was covered with insects. "Insect demon, why are you here?" Looking at the handsome insect demon, Yin Jiao's old face showed a trace of seriousness and asked in a low voice. Although Yin Jiao was powerful and had been cultivating nirvana for tens of thousands of years, he still showed fear in the face of the insect demon. Obviously, the insect demon's gold-devouring insects were a great threat to him. "Kill people." The insect demon revealed a mouthful of white teeth and said, "Kill who?" Yin Jiao frowned tightly. A strong uneasiness arose in his heart. "Kill those who should be killed and those who stop me," the insect demon said arrogantly. "You're here to kill me, right?" Wearing a black robe, Yi Chenfeng with an extraordinary aura appeared in the dark night. Looking at the insect demon who was emitting a strong killing intent, he said indifferently, "Interesting, you're really an interesting person." Looking at Yi Chenfeng, who was only a level 5 combat beast emperor, the insect demon revealed a playful smile. Yi Chenfeng, the insect demon, is one of the 3 most ferocious people in the Thunder region. His strength is unfathomable. You're not his opponent. Quickly retreat. Yin Jiao also valued Yi Chenfeng. He was afraid that he would be at a disadvantage, so he quickly told him about the terror of the insect demon. "Yin Jiao, is your earthly Yin sect really going to get involved?" The insect demon looked at Yin Jiao with sharp eyes and asked in a low voice, "Insect demon, if you're willing to leave, my earthly Yin sect can give you a satisfactory reward." Yin Jiao really didn't want to fight with the insect demon, so he clenched his teeth and said, "Not interested." The insect demon said indifferently, "No one can save him today. Those who stop me will be killed." As he spoke, a large number of insect cries rang out from the insect demon's body. The insect demon had summoned his greatest trump card, the gold-devouring beetles. They densely covered the sky as he prepared to kill Yi Chenfeng. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to make it easier to read next time, you can click the bookmark at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you can see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1276. Senior Yin. Leave this insect demon to me. Help me take care of the Zhou clan. Looking at the gold-devouring beetles that covered the void like a black cloud, Yi Chenfeng's handsome face did not show any fear. Although the gold-devouring beetles ate everything and had strong destructive power, Yi Chenfeng's physical body was comparable to a supreme grade Dao tool. Moreover, he had obtained a lower-grade sage artifact battle suit from the Sword Emperor. He was not afraid of the gold-devouring beetles at all. "Can you do it yourself?" Yin Jiao asked worriedly. "Don't worry, Senior Yin. I will kill him like killing a dog." Yi Chenfeng smiled proudly and said, "Kid, you have guts. Do you know that even the people from the Thunder Clan do not dare to talk to me like this? The insect demon's deep eyes shot out dense killing intent as he said coldly, "That is because the people from the Thunder Clan do not want to bicker with you. If the Thunder Clan really wants to kill you, do you think you have a chance to live in this world?" Yi Qinfeng put his hands behind his back and said tit for tat, "You are so stubborn. Wait until I capture you and let the gold-devouring beetles bite your body. Let's see if you can still be stubborn then." As he spoke, the insect demon gave a mental command. The densely packed gold-devouring beetles grinded their razor-sharp teeth and attacked Yi Qinfeng like a moving black cloud. "Yi Qinfeng, these gold-devouring beetles are extremely terrifying. Quickly defend yourself." Yin Juyao's expression changed slightly when the gold-devouring beetles covered the sky. He immediately put on an ancient Tao artifact battle suit to protect his entire body and reminded loudly, "Sky-incinerating sacred flame." Yi Qinfeng did not put on the sacred flame. Instead, he summoned the sky-incinerating sacred flame and enveloped his entire body. It lit up the night sky at dawn. The temperature of the entire space also rose sharply at this moment. Under the melting of the sky-incinerating sacred flame, a large number of gold-devouring beetles turned into ashes before they could get close to Yi Qinfeng. Yi Qinfeng borrowed the power of the sky-incinerating sacred flame and tore through the space-devouring beetles like a meteor. He attacked the insect demon with irresistible force. "Sacred fire, you actually subdued a sacred fire." Apart from possessing terrifying, offensive power, the metal-devouring beetles were also as tough as iron. However, they instantly melted when they encountered the sky-burning sacred flame. This made the insect demon suspect that the flame Yi Qinfeng had summoned was the most powerful flame in the central world, the sacred flame. Sacred fire. How many trump cards does Yi Qinfeng have? Yin Juyao was also stunned by the scene in front of him. He was shocked by Yi Qinfeng's methods. Yi Qinfeng's 5 insight acupoints erupted with power, activating the power of the dead spirit bead. He punched out at the insect demon, whose face had changed slightly. The punch pierced through the air, aiming for the insect demon's chest. Boom! The insect demon's pupils shrank. The Tao energy in his body burst forth and quickly condensed into a dark green handprint. It was entwined with the power of the will of the Tao, and it smashed Yi Qinfeng's fistlight with astonishing power. Dragon Spine's sacred sword after the insect demon's attack was broken. Yi Qinfeng did not panic. The Dragon Spine's sacred sword flew out of his body under the control of his mind. It drew a beautiful arc in the air and split the dark green handprint. "Sacred sword, I didn't expect you to have so many treasures on you." Looking at the Dragon Spine's sacred sword that was 6 feet and 6 inches long and emitted a sharp light, the Tao patterns on the sword body were like the spine of a true dragon. The insect demon's eyes burst out with greed. "Senior Yin, please go and protect the Zhou family." When Yi Qinfeng and the insect demon were facing each other in the air, he once again transmitted a message to Yin Juyao. "Okay, be careful." Yin Juyao took a deep look at Yi Qinfeng, who was shrouded in the sky-burning sacred flame. He nodded and quickly returned to the Zhou family's mansion. He summoned a large number of array flags and enveloped the Zhou family's mansion in case Yi Qinfeng and the insect demon's fierce battle caused too much destruction and directly destroyed the Zhou family. "Yi Qinfeng, don't think that you can fight me just because you have a few treasures. In this world, treasures are just external objects. Strength is the most important." The insect demon put away his contempt and called back the gold-devouring beetles that were constantly being burned to death by the sky-burning sacred flame. He condensed the life and death Tao diagram, thunder Tao diagram, and wind Tao diagram. He was ready to kill Yi Qinfeng with all his strength and seize the treasures on him. Qi, an ancient treasure-ranked spear, appeared in the insect demon's hand. He stabbed out with his spear, and the diagram of the three great Daos instantly released boundless Dao runes that fused into the tip of the spear. The terrifying attack left behind a deep spear mark in the void. It was as if a black dragon had appeared, swaying its body as it stabbed towards Yi Qinfeng's chest. The three Dao diagrams appeared. When the insect demon's spear stabbed towards him, Yi Qinfeng summoned the three Dao diagrams and controlled the bronze sword soul that was emitting a faint silver light to merge into the dragon spine sacred sword. He stabbed out a sword light to meet the attack. The black spear and the dragon spine sacred sword collided. A terrifying collision force burst out in the void. Dense water ripples appeared in the entire space and spread out in all directions. The momentum was terrifying. PFFF. After taking the insect demon's spear head-on, Yi Qinfeng immediately felt a terrifying force of death pass through the dragon's spine sacred sword and enter his body. It injured all the meridians in his body. A mouthful of blood uncontrollably spurted out from his mouth. The insect demon wasn't happy that his spear had injured Yi Qinfeng. Instead, he was shocked. This was because he knew the power of this spear. Even Nirvana couldn't block it. However, Yi Qinfeng, who was a level 5 combat beast emperor, was only lightly injured. Moreover, Yi Qinfeng's comprehension of Dao intent was beyond his imagination. Let's see how many of my spear attacks you can block. A huge insect king's shadow appeared on the insect demon's body. When he merged with the insect king's shadow, his tall and straight body underwent a transformation. A pair of black insect wings appeared on his body. His skin, that was more delicate than a woman's, was covered with a black carapace. Two extremely sharp, poisonous thorns drilled out of his arms. Dragon bloodline, divine bloodline, ignite the moment the insect demon transformed into his final form. Yi Qinfeng ignited his dragon bloodline and divine bloodline. His body swelled up, and at the same time, a thick layer of dragon scales covered the surface of his skin, increasing his defense to the greatest extent. After igniting the two bloodlines, Yi Qinfeng's strength increased exponentially. He almost reached the limit of a level 6 combat beast emperor. When he merged with the evil treasure, the demonic blood diagram, his strength broke through the limit of a level 6 combat beast emperor. He possessed the strength of a 1-star Dao saint. Feeling Yi Qinfeng's strength increasing steadily, the insect demon looked at his half-human, half-dragon body that was as red as blood. The shock on the insect demon's face became even more intense. Die for me! The insect demon's pupils shrunk. Its entire body fused with the black spear and continuously launched fatal attacks at Yi Qinfeng. The power of the spear was unimaginably fierce. Every thrust of the spear was like a wave in the sea, overlapping one another. After dozens of thrusts, the entire space seemed to have turned into a surging sea. The heavens and earth changed color, as if it wanted to swallow Yi Qinfeng and tear him apart in the sea of spears. True dragon, transformation facing wave after wave of spear light. Yi Qinfeng immediately used the divine ability of the dragon clan's branch. His entire body continued to grow. Under everyone's shocked gaze, he turned into a blood dragon. He let out a terrifying sound and charged straight into the sea of spears. Dragon? Could this Yi Qinfeng be a member of the dragon clan? Yin Juyao opened his eyes wide, looking at Yi Qinfeng, who had turned into a blood dragon and was tearing apart the insect demon's attacks. He guessed Yi Qinfeng's identity. The supreme elder of the dragon clan? Didn't they say that the dragon clan was a super race in the Qingyan realm? How could he appear in our space? Yin Ruashi gasped. Whether this Yi Qinfeng was a member of the dragon clan or not, it still needed to be investigated. But since he could transform into a true dragon, it was enough to show that he was related to the dragon clan. Yin Jiao took a deep breath and said, maybe he can really defeat the insect demon. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Collect button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1277. Boom Boom Boom. A series of uncontrollable explosions resounded in the void. Yi Qinfeng and the insect demon fiercely attacked, causing unimaginable destructive power. Yi Qinfeng used the true dragon transformation. Although the instantaneous attack power was extremely terrifying and was enough to kill Nirvana, the strength of the insect demon was too terrifying. After dozens of breaths, Yi Qinfeng's true dragon transformation was broken. Go to hell! The moment the insect demon forcefully broke the true dragon transformation, it took a deep breath and thrust its spear at Yi Qinfeng's chest, wanting to pierce through his chest in one shot. Golden Dragon Robe. Defense at the critical moment, Yi Qinfeng, who was covered in blood, summoned the Golden Dragon Robe, a low-grade sacred artifact. With the defense of the Golden Dragon Robe, he resisted the black spear light with an irresistible force. Chi flames lit up on the surface of the Golden Dragon Robe. Yi Qinfeng was sent flying by the insect demon's spear, but the Golden Dragon Robe helped him neutralize most of the attack. In addition, Yi Qinfeng's physical defense had reached the level of a quasi-sacred artifact. The insect demon's spear only slightly injured Yi Qinfeng. Not even a drop of blood flowed out. What a terrifying defense! The battle armor worn by Yi Qinfeng was probably a saint robe. Seeing Yi Qinfeng resist the insect demon's spear attack and only be slightly injured, Yin Jiuyao and the others were completely relieved. With the saint robe, Yi Qinfeng was basically in an invincible position. In addition, Yi Qinfeng subdued the sky-burning sacred fire to kill the metal-devouring beetles. It could be said that it was very difficult for the insect demon to kill Yi Qinfeng. Who the hell are you? How do you have so many treasures? Experiencing Yi Qinfeng's amazing defensive power, the insect demon couldn't help showing a dignified expression and asked in a low voice, "A dead man doesn't need to know my identity." With that, Yi Qinfeng summoned the ancient map fragment that he had repaired and restricted the space within a few miles, so that the outside world couldn't see the situation between him and the insect demon. Although your defense is amazing, you are still far from being able to kill me with your strength. The insect demon snorted and said disdainfully, "It's true that I can't kill you alone, but didn't anyone tell you that I have help?" Yi Qinfeng smiled and summoned the sword puppet, the Marquis of Qianming, and the Chaos Divine Beast. Yes, a space treasure. Seeing the sudden appearance of the sword puppet and the others, the smile on the insect demon's face froze. He finally understood why Yi Qinfeng, a level 5 beast emperor, could kill the 3 saints of true thunder and so many cultivators of the thunder domain. He wasn't fighting alone. He had a helper, and his helper's strength was terrifying. Make a quick decision at Yi Qinfeng's command. He summoned 81 Qiankuan giant swords. Combat, form the divine, beast of chaos roared and instantly transformed into his strongest combat form. His strength climbed steadily and soon broke through 200 million pounds. Holding the heavy bronze coffin, he smashed it toward the insect demon as if he was swinging a towering mountain. Boom! The insect demon's spear light collided with the ancient bronze coffin and immediately exploded with a shocking force in midair. The ancient bronze coffin was filled with 200 million pounds of strength and forcefully bent the ancient black spear in the insect demon's hand. The terrifying strength passed through the crescent-shaped spear and into the insect demon's arm, shattering the black shell that covered his arm and forcing him back. 3 heads, 6 arms when the insect demon was forced back by the divine beast of chaos. The Marquis of Qianming appeared behind him and transformed into his ultimate form of 3 heads and 6 arms. He held 6 treasures and attacked the insect demon's body with all his strength. When the insect demon was resisting the Marquis of Qianming's tide-like attacks, the indestructible sword puppet closed in on him and ignored his fierce counterattacks. It held the black dragon's sacred sword and slashed at the insect demon's body, sending him flying. It broke through his defense and caused a large amount of blood to spurt out. Qianquan's sword formation. Qianquan's strike Yi Qinfeng didn't give him a chance to catch his breath. He controlled the 81 Qianquan swords to fuse together and slash down. A terrifying sword mark tore through layers of space and slashed at the insect demon's head. Bang! After taking on the Qianquan sword formation head-on, the insect demon was sent flying again. His body that had lost control crashed into the restriction wall and was heavily injured. Gold-devouring Bugwen Yi Qinfeng and the other three attacked together. The insect demon, with blood flowing out from the corner of his mouth, summoned his trump card and attacked the Marquis of Qianming and the others. He wanted to devour them alive. Wrath of divine punishment, the gold-devouring bug swarmed over from all directions. The sky-burning sacred fire, purple beginnings sacred thunder, and dual extreme ancient heavenly water gushed out from Yi Qinfeng's body and quickly gathered above his head. It was like a meteor that was filled with destructive power as it blasted into the gold-devouring bug swarm. The terrifying, explosive power instantly killed thousands of gold-devouring bugs, causing the insect demon's heart to ache. When the wrath of divine punishment's power became more and more intense, the sword puppet tore through the center of the explosion and approached the insect demon. It continuously launched fatal attacks at him and forced him to retreat. Today, I will let you see my true trump card. His attacks were completely restrained, so the insect demon used his final trump card. He summoned an ancient disc that was engraved with a large number of insect patterns and a gold-devouring bug that was the size of a buffalo with a pair of black wings and sharp teeth. Although the gold-devouring bug had yet to break through to the level of a saint beast, its attack power was comparable to a saint beast's. In addition, it could fuse with a large number of gold-devouring bugs to increase its strength. It was very terrifying. The 10,000 bug plate that the insect demon summoned was also a quasi-saint treasure that had been refined for tens of thousands of years. It could increase the 10,000 bug plate's attack power by fusing with the gold-devouring bugs. In order to kill Yi Qinfeng and take his treasures, the insect demon decided to sacrifice the gold-devouring bugs at all costs. He was determined to kill Yi Qinfeng and the others. Chaos Divine Beast, I'll leave that big bug to you. Finish it quickly. Yi Qinfeng glanced at the gold-devouring bug that was constantly fusing with the gold-devouring bugs and instructed him. All right. The Chaos Divine Beast nodded. He raised the bronze coffin high up and blasted it at the gold-devouring bug, fighting it fiercely in the air. Buzz, buzz, buzz-faced with the Chaos Divine Beast's ferocious attack, the gold-devouring bug opened its mouth full of teeth and spat out a large number of gold-devouring bugs. They tore at the Chaos Divine Beast's strong body and devoured its flesh. Chaotic 5 elements, light while the Chaos Divine Beast was being devoured by the gold-devouring bugs. The Chaos 5 elements light shot out from its body. It was like a dazzling sun, constantly penetrating the gold-devouring bugs' bodies that were as hard as iron and killing them. Battle, form while the Chaos Divine Beast was crazily slaughtering the gold-devouring bugs. The gold-devouring bug transformed into her battle form. She turned into an ugly but sexy woman with a bone staff in her hand and fought fiercely with the Chaos Divine Beast. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng, the sword puppet, and the Marquis of Qianming formed a triangle and surrounded the insect demon, attacking it together. 10,000 bug plate, destroy! With a thought from the insect demon, the 3 Tao diagrams floating above its head disappeared into the 10,000 bug plate. A large number of bug-like Tao patterns were projected from the 10,000 bug plate and attacked Yi Qinfeng's group. It forced Yi Qinfeng and the Marquis of Qianming to retreat and block the sword puppet's attack. After forcing Yi Qinfeng's group back, the insect demon immediately attacked with a 10,000 bug plate. It was like a barbarian bug from the apocalypse, launching a fatal attack at Yi Qinfeng. It wanted to break through his defense and heavily injure him. 9 Flood Dragon Diagram Trap. At the critical moment, instead of retreating, Yi Qinfeng advanced and summoned the 9 Serpent Diagram. He controlled the 9 Serpent Diagram to transform it into a black hole, directly swallowing one of the insect demon's trump cards, the 10,000 insect plate, into the 9 Serpent Diagram. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1278. Sacred Treasure. You have a sacred treasure. Yi Qinfeng had 2 sacred treasures, which was already beyond the insect demon's expectations. However, he didn't expect that Yi Qinfeng not only had a sacred treasure, but also a sacred treasure that was at the pinnacle of the Duhan continent. He could directly suppress the 10,000 bug plate. Insect demon, you really shouldn't have provoked me. Did you know that the Thunder Clan didn't even take revenge on me when you cut off Lei Chuanwang's legs? Yi Qinfeng said coldly. As he spoke, he spat a mouthful of blood essence into the 9 Flood Dragon Diagram and controlled the 4 Dao diagrams to release powerful Dao patterns into the 9 Flood Dragon Diagram. He condensed 9 Flood Dragon spirits to suppress the 10,000 bug plate. What? Hearing Yi Qinfeng's words, the insect demon's heart was in turmoil, and his expression became even more solemn. With his strength, the Thunder Clan didn't dare to take revenge on him. If Yi Qinfeng really had the strength to make the Thunder Clan apprehensive, then he would undoubtedly be courting death by provoking Yi Qinfeng. At this moment, he felt some regret. He regretted coming to kill Yi Qinfeng without investigating thoroughly. In his heart, he hated Nangongzheng even more. If it weren't for him, he wouldn't have provoked such a great enemy for no reason. Vajra Bronze Bull just as the insect demon was about to retreat. Marquis Qianming summoned the Vajra Bronze Bull and controlled it to constantly grow. It crushed the chaotic space and crashed towards the insect demon. Thunder, Flood Dragon Claw, the Vajra Bronze Bull fiercely crashed with a dazzling golden light. The insect demon summoned a second quasi-sacred treasure and controlled a dragon-like claw that flickered with lightning to grab the Vajra Bronze Bull, resisting the Vajra Bronze Bull's fierce attack. Soul Fall Bellas, the 2 quasi-sacred treasures, fiercely clashed in midair. The Soul Fall Bell appeared on Yi Qinfeng's body. As Yi Qinfeng unleashed 200 million gene of strength, he held the dragon spine's sacred sword and struck the Soul Fall Bell. An unimaginable bell sound rang out, twisting the void like a surging tide and sweeping towards the insect demon, whose expression changed slightly. The insect demon didn't panic when he was attacked by the Soulfall Bell. He unleashed his strength and Dao insight to the limit as he attacked ferociously with the black spear in his hand. He constantly tore apart the Soulfall Bell as he approached Yi Qinfeng. Suddenly, the chaotic void trembled as the sword puppet merged with the black dragon, holy sword. Like a crescent moon that had fallen to the mortal world, it slashed towards the insect demon. Boom, the sword spirit puppet slashed at the ancient spear that the insect demon raised high in the air. The rapidly burning energy in its body erupted like a volcano and slammed into the insect demon's body, shattering its defenses and slamming it into the spatial wall of the ancient map fragment. Sword Step Yi Qinfeng's feet flashed, and the sword diagram appeared. He took a step forward, and his speed increased by 6 times. He instantly appeared beside the insect demon, whose arms were bleeding profusely, and continued to attack with the dragon spine's sacred sword. Exploding poison bugs die. As Yi Qinfeng approached, 6 fingernail-sized dark green, strangely shaped bugs emerged from the insect demon's bloody body. They flew towards Yi Qinfeng. When the 6 exploding poison bugs came into contact with Yi Qinfeng's surging soul force, they all exploded, releasing a dark green poison mist. They swallowed Yi Qinfeng, trying to poison him to death. Sacred burning flame, incinerate. Being corroded by the dense poison mist, the sacred burning flame surged out of Yi Qinfeng's body again. It burned the poison mist and quickly melted it. Die, heart-drilling hand. Seizing the opportunity when Yi Qinfeng burned the poison mist, the heavily injured insect demon launched a fatal attack at Yi Qinfeng. He summoned the quasi-saint treasure, Thunder, Flood Dragon Clawback, and tore through space. He clawed at Yi Qinfeng's chest, trying to crush his heart. You want to kill me? You're still far from it. The chaos divine would broke out of Yi Qinfeng's body. It shone with 5-colored light and swayed its 5-colored crown. It lashed at the Thunder Flood Dragon Claw and sent it flying. Gu Jianga, heart of the sword bright moon. The chaotic divine would broke the insect demon's fatal attack. Yi Qinfeng used his ultimate move at close range. The mountain-like sword light was branded with the imprint of the Great Way. It was like a bright moon shining high up in the sky, venting an endless pressure of the way. It slashed viciously onto the insect demon's body and sent him flying again. Buzz! When the insect demon lost control and crashed into the hard barrier, the sword puppet continued to slash at him with the black dragon sacred sword. It didn't give the insect demon a chance to breathe. It used all its strength to suppress his attacks and aggravate his injuries. Ao, just as the insect demon was being suppressed by Yi Qinfeng and the sword puppet, the metal-devouring mother bug was hit by the ancient bronze coffin. It let out a painful roar and ruthlessly crashed into the space barrier. A large amount of blood flowed out from its cracked body. Thunder Flood Dragon Claw. Breaking barrier looking at the situation today, the insect demon was scared. He had a feeling that if he didn't break out of the encirclement, he would very likely die here. Relying on his absolute strength, while he withstood the attacks of Yi Qinfeng and the sword spirit puppet, he controlled the Thunder Flood Dragon Claw to attack the restriction on the ancient map fragment. Under the full attack of the Thunder Flood Dragon Claw, a large number of cracks appeared on the ancient map fragment. However, the ancient map fragment was very mysterious. It would take some time for the Thunder Flood Dragon Claw to completely shatter it. Insect demon, don't waste your strength. Accept your fate. After saying that, Yi Qinfeng ignited his Empyrean bloodline and channeled the power of the heavens into his body. He transformed into his strongest 3-headed, 6-armed ultimate form. His 6 arms moved at the same time as he used the 3 saint skills of the Green Sky Secret Art, the Blue Sky Seal, the Heavenly Tao Disc, and the Desolate Furnace of Heaven to attack the insect demon, not giving him a chance to escape. Ao, the metal-devouring mother bug let out another painful howl. Under the ferocious attacks of the Chaos Divine Beast, the heavily injured metal-devouring mother bug couldn't withstand the consumption of its battle form and returned to its original form. Chaos Mountain, the Chaos Divine Beast, also transformed into its original form at this time. Like a towering mountain, it ruthlessly pressed down on the metal-devouring mother bug's body, suppressing it from midair to the hard space barrier. More than 200 million gene of strength surged into its body like a tide, destroying its body and cutting off its life force. In the end, under the ferocious attacks of the Chaos Divine Tree, the metal-devouring mother bug's body was smashed into pieces by the Chaos Divine Beast. The metal-devouring mother bug, parasitized in its body, also turned into ashes, and its most precious monster core was swallowed by the Chaos Divine Beast in one gulp. Metal-devouring bugs, break the barrier. Out of the corner of his eye, the insect demon found that the metal-devouring mother bug was killed by the Chaos Divine Beast. The insect demon's heart fell to the bottom. He summoned the metal-devouring bugs at all costs to tear apart the cracked space barrier. wanting to leave this dangerous place as soon as possible. Grand Elder, do you think Yi Qinfeng can defeat the insect demon? At this time, the sky was getting brighter and brighter. Looking at the continuous cracks in the void, Yin Ruashi and others were worried about Yi Qinfeng. Once Yi Qinfeng was killed, the insect demon would never let them go. It's hard to say. Yin Jiao shook his head and said with a solemn face, "The insect demon's strength is unfathomable, and the metal-devouring bugs he raises are extremely terrifying. It's very difficult to defeat him head-on. But Yi Qinfeng has a lot of means. I think even if he can't defeat the insect demon can't kill him." As he spoke, a big hole appeared in the cracked space barrier. The next moment, a scene that shocked everyone appeared. The insect demon, covered in blood, flew out of the broken barrier, turned into a bloody light, and fled out of Izhou City. Mobile reading home. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the bookmark at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you can see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1279. The insect demon escaped. He actually escaped. Witnessing the scene of the insect demon escaping in embarrassment, Yin Juyao and the others widened their eyes, unable to believe what they saw. They couldn't believe that the insect demon, one of the 3 most ferocious people in the Thunder region, actually escaped like a stray dog. "Insect demon, you can't escape. Today I will kill you." Yi Qinfeng summoned the 3 helpers back to the universe realm, summoned the quasi-holy treasure Golden Wing Feather, turned into a dazzling golden light, and chased after the insect demon who was escaping at a very fast speed. This Yi Qinfeng was a bit too ferocious. Hearing Yi Qinfeng's incomparably arrogant voice, Yin Juyao's old face showed a look of horror. He couldn't imagine what kind of means Yi Qinfeng used to seriously injure the insect demon, and what kind of confidence did he have to kill him. It should be known that the Thunder Clan sent many masters, but they couldn't kill the insect demon. "Yi Qinfeng, if you are willing to let me go, I can give you benefits. Benefits that you can't imagine." The insect demon used the blood escape to fly very fast, but he couldn't get rid of Yi Qinfeng, who had the Golden Wing Feather. As time went by, Yi Qinfeng was getting closer and closer to him, and the destructive purple beginning holy thunder kept bombarding his body, aggravating his injuries. He had no choice but to lower his noble head and speak softly. "No need to go through so much trouble. After killing you, everything on you will be mine." Yi Qinfeng was unmoved and continued to fan the Golden Wing Feather, closing the distance between him and the insect demon, releasing the purple beginning holy thunder to destroy his body. "Yi Qinfeng, don't you want to know who hired me to kill you? If you kill me, you will never know who the real murderer is." After being continuously attacked by the purple beginning holy thunder, the insect demon's injuries continued to worsen. He had no choice but to think of a way to tempt Yi Qinfeng, begging him to let him go. "What? Do you think it's hard to guess who hired you to kill me?" Yi Qinfeng sneered. "I just seriously injured Nangong Su and you came. Do you think this is a coincidence? Yi Qinfeng, do you really want to fight me to death? Let me tell you, if you push me too far, I will die with you." Facing Yi Qinfeng, the insect demon had a feeling that his hands and feet were tied. If he had another chance to choose, he would never fight with Yi Qinfeng for 100 million top-grade soul crystals. "Insect demon, you think too highly of yourself." Yi Qinfeng was unmoved. He replied tyrannically, "You will definitely die today. I will give your head to the Nangong clan. I will let them know the consequences of going against me." Dizzying Yi Qinfeng used the golden wings, flying feather, to close the distance between them. The 3-star Tao Saint Realm's soul exploded, forming a terrifying dizzying power that fiercely blasted into the insect demon's soul sea, causing his soul to tremble and a sense of dizziness to appear in his mind. Although the insect demon relied on his powerful strength to temporarily dispel the dizziness, this fleeting moment allowed Yi Qinfeng to catch up to him. He summoned the Cosmos Sword Formation and the Sword Puppet and launched a fierce attack on him. Yi Qinfeng and the insect demon fought fiercely in the air, causing a terrifying commotion that disturbed a huge city in the distance. A large number of masters flew out of the city to see what was going on. Wasn't that the insect demon? Looking at the insect demon, who was covered in blood and whose attacks were being suppressed, many people recognized him and revealed a look of great shock. The insect demon was the symbol of death in the Thunder territory. Except for the Thunder clan, no one dared to provoke him. But now the insect demon was in a life and death crisis, shocking the cultivators hiding in the distance. Heavens! Where did those two people come from? Did the Thunder clan send people to hunt down the insect demon again? No, those two people are not from our Thunder clan. A 6th-level war beast emperor with a high status in the Thunder clan looked at Yi Qinfeng and the sword puppet from afar and said, while shaking his head. The cultivators who were not from the Thunder clan sucked in a breath of cold air and said, "When did our Thunder territory give birth to such a terrifying master?" Cosmos Sword Formation. Cosmos strike when the insect demon held the Thunder Flood Dragon Claw and collided with the sword puppet and lost control of his body. Yi Qinfeng controlled the 81 rapidly rotating Cosmos swords to merge together and turn them into a giant sword that slashed down. The powerful and unstoppable Cosmos sword directly smashed the seriously injured insect demon from the air to the ground, smashing a big hole in the ground. Supernatural power, tyrannical, kicked the moment the insect demon fell. Yi Qinfeng stepped out in the void. More than 200 million gene of power gushed out, carrying the power to crush hell. His foot landed on the insect demon, who smashed a big hole in the ground, causing him to spit out blood and his bones to shatter. Wrath of God's punishment after the tyrant kick. Yi Qinfeng blasted out the wrath of God's punishment, bombarding the seriously injured insect demon. Boom! When the wrath of God's punishment exploded in the ground, the explosive power was earth-shattering, as if the end of the world had come. The insect demon's body defense was completely shattered, bombarding his whole body with blood and flesh, and he was on the verge of death. Life force. Burn with his life hanging by a thread. The insect demon burned his powerful life force at all costs, suppressing the injuries on his body, and continued to escape. But under Yi Qinfeng's stun technique and the sword puppet's obstruction, the insect demon was unable to break through. He could only try his best to fight Yi Qinfeng. "Yi Qinfeng, if you are willing to let me go, I am willing to submit to you." The insect demon was also a genius of his generation. He had only used 10,000 years to break through to nirvana, so he still had a lot of lifespan to squander. He was unwilling to die like this, so he had no choice but to beg for mercy. Not interested, Yi Qinfeng coldly refused, and continued to launch fatal attacks on him with the sword puppet. "Yi Qinfeng, who is this Yi Qinfeng?" Hearing the insect demons dying begging for mercy, the cultivators hiding in the distance began to discuss again. "I remember who that Yi Qinfeng is. If I am not wrong, this Yi Qinfeng is the fierce man who killed the 3 true Thunder Saints and nearly 100 cultivators not long ago." So it was him. It seems that the 3 fierce men of the Thunderfield are about to change masters. All the cultivators suddenly realized, and were deeply shocked by Yi Qinfeng's terrifying strength. "Insect demon, the game is over. Let me send you to hell." After saying that, Yi Qinfeng summoned the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus and poured the 7-fold soul force amplification of his dragon bloodline into it. He controlled the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus to condense a deadly dragon and bombarded the seriously injured insect demon who was entangled with the sword puppet at close range. Boom! Under the destructive power of the deadly dragon, the insect demon's scarred body quickly shattered. Although he summoned a large number of trump cards and desperately defended, the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus was a top-quality, holy artifact. It was not something he could resist in his seriously injured state. The gold-devouring beetles parasitized in his body also turned to ashes under the attack of the deadly dragon. In the end, the insect demon's body was shattered by the deadly dragon. His head, which was bleeding from his 7 orifices, was cut off by Yi Qinfeng and stored in the universe realm. One of the 3 fierce men of the Thunder Field, the insect demon who gave the Thunder Field a headache, died at the hands of Yi Qinfeng. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1280. The Insect Demon was dead. After the death of the 3 true Thunder Saints, another piece of shocking news broke out in the Thunder Territory. The insect demon, who had been famous in the Thunder Territory for tens of thousands of years, had died outside the Southern Expedition City. The one who killed him was Yi Qinfeng, who had killed the 3 true Thunder Saints. For a time, Yi Qinfeng's name resounded throughout the Thunder Territory. There was almost no one in the Thunder Territory who didn't know his name. After he killed the insect demon, he replaced the insect demon and became one of the 3 most ferocious men of the Thunder Territory. He was as famous as Duanchang and Greenrobe. In the Nangong capital city, an angry roar suddenly came from the Nangong family's old mansion. What? The insect demon is dead. Are you sure the insect demon was killed by Yi Qinfeng? After hearing the news of the insect demon's death, Nangong couldn't hold back his anger and questioned the informant loudly. Reporting to the clan leader, many people in the Southern Expedition City saw with their own eyes that the insect demon was killed by Yi Qinfeng in front of everyone. Now, Yi Qinfeng has replaced the insect demon and become one of the 3 most ferocious men of the Thunder Territory. The trembling informant braced himself and reported, "Where did Yi Qinfeng come from? How did he have the ability to kill the insect demon?" Until now, Nangong still couldn't believe that the insect demon, who was more powerful than him, was killed by Yi Qinfeng. I don't know. Yi Qinfeng's origin has always been mysterious. No one knows his true identity. However, he was able to kill the 3 true Thunder Saints and the insect demon in succession. It is enough to show that he controls a powerful force. This force is so powerful that it can affect the fate of many forces in the Thunder Territory. Great Elder Nangong said with a frown, "Great Elder, do you think Yi Qinfeng knows that it was our Nangong family who asked the insect demon to deal with him?" Nangong asked with a gloomy face. He didn't expect things to develop to this point. It was completely beyond his expectations and imagination. I think he should have guessed it. Perhaps the insect demon betrayed us when he was on the brink of death. Nangong sighed softly and said, "Clan leader, for the sake of caution, I think we should make arrangements in advance to guard against Yi Qinfeng's revenge." "Great Elder, what do you think about letting Qingxue be the lobbyist?" Although the Nangong family still had 2 Nirvana Grand Elders, when he thought about how Yi Qinfeng had killed the insect demon, Nangong was worried about Yi Qinfeng's revenge. "Clan leader, even if Qingxue can convince Yi Qinfeng, it's only a delaying tactic, not a long-term solution. Unless our Nangong clan submits to him," Nangong said after a moment of contemplation. "Impossible. My Nangong family will not submit to anyone," Nangong said firmly. "Clan leader, I have an idea. Perhaps we can use this opportunity to get rid of that Yi Qinfeng," Nangong said. "What is it?" Nangong raised his eyebrows and asked quickly. Nangong said, "No matter how powerful that Yi Qinfeng is, he won't be able to fight against our 2 forces. As long as the Mirror Moon sect is willing to deal with him, he will die for sure." "That's a good idea," Nangong nodded, a hint of viciousness in his eyes. "But I still need you to talk to Qingxue. She doesn't seem to like Jing Jiechi of the Mirror Moon sect, Nangong Zue said. If it was before, and Qingxue didn't want to marry, I would have let her be. But now that the future of our Nangong family is at stake, she has no choice. Nangong Zheng said without hesitation, I'll contact Jing Qian now to discuss the marriage. Clan leader, if you go looking for them now, I'm sure sect leader Jing will be able to guess our motive. So I think it's better to be straightforward. As for the bargaining chip, it's Yi Qinfeng's treasures. The Mirror Moon sect will definitely be interested in them. After we kill him, our two forces can split the treasures equally, Nangong Zue continued to suggest. All right, let's do that. After thinking about it, Nangong Zheng felt that this was the only way to deal with the threat posed by Yi Qinfeng. He made a prompt decision and personally contacted the Mirror Moon sect leader, Jing Qian. Soon, the two forces reached a consensus and decided to form an alliance through marriage to deal with Yi Qinfeng together. Knowing that she was going to marry Jing Jiechi, Nangong Qingxue felt as if she was struck by lightning. Her mind went blank. Nangong Qingxue knew very well what kind of person Jing Jiechi was. He was a wolf in human skin. The number of girls who were harmed by him numbered over 100. Not a single one of those girls had a good ending. They were either directly tortured to death by him or given to others as an exchange item. I'd rather die than marry that scum Jing Jiechi. Nangong Qingxue found Nangong Zheng and resisted. What she received was indeed Nangong Zheng's ruthless oppression. After sealing Nangong Qingxue's strength, Nangong Zheng told her clearly that this matter couldn't be changed. Her marriage with Jing Jiechi was set to take place 10 days later at the Mirror Moon sect. The Nangong family and the Mirror Moon sect were known as the second super holy lands of the Lightning Territory, second only to the Lightning Clan. The news of their marriage spread throughout the Lightning Territory like a storm, causing a huge commotion. After knowing that Nangong Qingxue was going to marry Jing Jiechi, Zhou Tiany's joy of breaking through to rank 3 combat beast emperor disappeared. His heart also shattered at this moment. What's wrong, Tiany? You're not willing? Yi Qinfeng asked indifferently as he drank a mouthful of spirit tea and looked at the pale and trembling Zhou Tiany. I'm not willing. Jing Jiechi isn't worthy of Qingxue. Zhou Tiany really liked Nangong Qingxue too much. He knew what kind of person Jing Jiechi was. Seeing his beloved woman about to jump into a heated bed made him feel as if his heart was being cut by a knife. That's simple. 10 days later, I'll bring you to the Mirror Moon sect and propose marriage to Nangong Qingxue in front of the two forces. Yi Qinfeng put down the teacup in his hand and said, No, young Master Yi. According to my Earth Een Sect's informant's report, the Nangong family's sudden marriage with the Mirror Moon sect might be targeting you. If you openly appear in front of the Mirror Moon sect, they definitely won't let you off. Een Ruashi's expression slightly changed and reminded, I've guessed their intentions. If I don't appear, the two forces will probably be very disappointed. Rather than that, why don't I give them a big gift and fight for Tiany's happiness? Yi Qinfeng smiled and said calmly, Young Master Yi, I wonder if you know about the Nangong family and the Mirror Moon sect? They are the second strongest forces of the Lightning Territory. Even my Earth Een sect is inferior to them. If their grand elders didn't pass away, they probably have more than 6 Nirvana Almighty experts. They can definitely threaten your life. Een Ruashi didn't want Yi Qinfeng to act recklessly, so she told him how terrifying the two forces were. As long as there aren't any Nirvana, Heavenly Realm Almighty experts, I can sweep through them. Yi Qinfeng's eyes flashed and he said, Tiany, let me ask you something. Do you dare to come with me to the Mirror Moon sect and propose marriage to Nangong Qingxue in front of everyone? Yi Qinfeng looked at Zhou Tiany, who was clenching his fists and feeling extremely unsettled, and slowly asked, I dare. Zhou Tiany looked gratefully at Yi Qinfeng and said in a firm tone, Okay, 10 days later, come with me to the Mirror Moon sect. I want to see who can stop me. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click the save button at the bottom to record this reading. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1281. The Mirror Moon Sect was a superpower of the Thunder Territory. It was located at the source of a blessed land in the northern part of the Thunder Territory. It was like spring all year round, and the scenery was picturesque. Because of the upcoming marriage alliance with the Nangong family, the entire Mirror Moon Sect was in a jubilant mood. Many powers of the Thunder Territory and some famous cultivators came to congratulate them. Congratulations, young Master Mirror. You have obtained Miss Nangong. I am very envious. Yes, to be able to marry such a beautiful woman. I think young Master Mirror will become the envy of all young people in the Thunder Territory. Looking at the high-spirited Jin Jechi, who was wearing a bright red silk robe and had a smile on his face, many experts came to congratulate him. Haha, many thanks for the honor. Please come in. Thinking that he would soon be able to fulfill his wish of pressing down the arrogant and beautiful Nangong Shui and savoring her beautiful body, Jin Jechi couldn't hide his joy. He laughed heartily and ordered people to receive the expensive gifts. Family head, do you think that Yi Qinfeng will come and stop the marriage alliance between our two powers? Nangong Zue, who had arrived at the Mirror Moon Sect early, felt a trace of unease when he saw the experts of various powers coming to congratulate them. He sent a voice transmission to Nangong Zheng, who was sitting in the main hall and drinking tea in silence. I do hope that he will come. That way, I can use the Mirror Moon Sect to kill him. But I think that the chances of him daring to come here is very small because he knows that once he comes, he won't be able to go back. Nangong Zheng put down the teacup in his hand, and his eyes flashed with a cold light. He sent a voice transmission, and he might not be able to guess that the marriage alliance between our two families is because of him. The Thunder Clan's young master Lei Zifin and Princess Lei Zixin came to congratulate them. Just as Nangong Zheng and the other sect heads of the Thunder Territory were drinking tea and chatting in the main hall of the Mirror Moon Sect and waiting for the auspicious time, a loud voice suddenly rang out, causing everyone's eyes to light up. They all put down their teacups and went out to greet the guest. Congratulations, Sect Head Mirror, Nangong family head. Little nephew has come to congratulate you on behalf of the Thunder Clan. Lei Zifin, who was dressed in a white robe, had a slender figure and a handsome appearance. He slowly walked over and congratulated. Lei Zifin was known as the #1 genius of the Thunder Dominion's younger generation. At such a young age, he had successfully converted to nirvana. His future was limitless, and he was even more likely to become the next patriarch of the Thunder Clan. His arrival immediately caused the atmosphere to become even more lively. Many of the extraordinarily beautiful women revealed excited expressions as they cast flirtatious glances at him. Compared to Lei Zifin, Lei Zixin, who was known as the #1 beauty of the Lightning Territory, was much more eye-catching. She wore a light yellow silk dress, and her long purple hair draped over her shoulders. She had an elegant temperament and was indescribably beautiful. Although Nangong Shui was born very beautiful, but compared to Lei Zixin, there was still a certain gap. Looking at her beautiful face that could captivate all living things, her phoenix eyes that inadvertently revealed a charming light, and her bright red lips that were like raging flames that seemed to possess magical powers, all the men present were deeply attracted to her, unable to extricate themselves. Although the Thunder Clan's patriarch did not appear, the arrival of Lei Zifin and Lei Zixin still caused Nangong Zheng and Jing Qian's faces to glow. They accepted their congratulatory gifts, and after exchanging a few pleasantries, they led them into the main hall to rest. Young Master Lei, I wonder if you have heard about the new great ferocious person of the Thunder Territory? Nangong Zue exchanged glances with Nangong Zheng, before asking. He wanted to find out the Thunder Clan's attitude. From Lei Zifan. Elder Nangong was referring to Yi Qinfeng, right? Lei Zifan put down the teacup in his hand and smiled. That's right. This Yi Qinfeng killed the true Thunder Three Saints and the insect demon. He is known as the new great, ferocious person of the Thunder Territory. I wonder what the Thunder Clan thinks of this person. Nangong Zue nodded and asked. Elder Nangong's information was a bit outdated. Not only did the 3 true Thunder Saints die in his hands, Insect Demon also died in his hands. Lei Zifan said faintly, but the people he killed were all people who deserved to be killed. So what if he killed them? Hearing Lei Zifan's words, Nangong Zhang, Jing Qian, and the others' expressions changed slightly. They were shocked that the Nirvana Almighty Gulan had also died at the hands of Yi Qinfeng, but they were even more surprised by the Thunder Clan's attitude. From Lei Zifan's words, they felt that the Thunder Clan had the intention of letting Yi Qinfeng kill as he pleased. This made them speculate about the relationship between Yi Qinfeng and the Thunder Clan. Young Lord Lei, do you know the background of Yi Qinfeng? Nangong Zheng asked after pondering for a while. Rest assured, Yi Qinfeng has nothing to do with the Thunder Clan. If you have any disputes with him, the Thunder Clan will not interfere. As for his identity, the Thunder Clan does not know either. Lei Zifan said openly. Hearing Lei Zifan's words, Nangong Zheng secretly heaved a sigh of relief. He was most afraid that Yi Qinfeng had something to do with the Thunder Clan. Now, it seemed that his worries were unnecessary. He and the Mirror Moon sect could deal with Yi Qinfeng without any worries. Sect Master, Nangong Family Head, Young Lord Lei, Princess Lei, the auspicious time has arrived. Please welcome the guests to the wedding hall. At this moment, a voluptuous woman wearing a red robe with a phoenix pattern walked in. Her sexy waist swayed as she spoke in a soft voice. She brought them to the crowded and joyous wedding hall. Congratulations to Jechi for getting what he wanted and bringing home the beauty. Lei Zifan and Jean Jechi knew each other. Looking at the red-robed Jean Jechi, who couldn't conceal his joy, he slowly walked over and congratulated him. Thank you, young Lord Lei, Princess Lei. I'm really happy that you can come. Facing the #1 person of the Thunder Territory's younger generation, the future master of the Thunder Clan, Jean Jechi lowered his attitude and greeted them with a smile. When he looked at the pure and refined Lei Zixin, who had long purple hair, he felt a kind of breathtaking feeling. All right, I won't delay you from welcoming the guests. Let's have a few drinks later. Lei Zifan smiled and left with Lei Zixin. The bride has arrived. At this time, the bustling wedding hall became noisy. Nangong Qing Shui, who was wearing a phoenix crown and a red veil, lightly applied makeup, but her eyes were gloomy, came to the wedding hall with the support of 2 beautiful maids. Looking at Nangong Qing Shui's beautiful face, rosy red lips, and tall figure, Jean Jechi's heart burned. He couldn't wait to enter the bridal chamber with her, take off her clothes, and ruthlessly ravage her pure body. The auspicious time had arrived, and the bride and groom had bowed to heaven and earth to get married. A white-haired old man in high spirits slowly walked out and stood beside Jing Qian as he loudly announced. Boom! Suddenly, a loud sound rang out in the Mirror Moon sect. The tightly shut ancient sect gate of the Mirror Moon sect was smashed by brute force. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng, the spirit fish, the chaos divine beast, the Marquis of Qianming, the sword puppet, and Zhou Tianyi appeared in the jubilant Mirror Moon sect. Their appearance was like a huge rock smashing into the ocean, causing a huge uproar. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1282. Yi Qinfeng. Hearing the commotion, Nangong Zheng, Jing Kehan, and the others appeared in the chaotic front yard. Although they had never seen Yi Qinfeng before, when they saw the handsome Yi Qinfeng with his tall figure and powerful sword intent, they called out his name in unison. Please don't be offended by my sudden arrival. Yi Qinfeng revealed a faint smile on his delicate face as he looked at Nangong Zheng, Jing Qian, and the others, whose faces were ashen with murderous intent. Then he spoke indifferently. Yi Qinfeng, I didn't expect you to be so daring to come here and cause trouble. Nangong Zheng's eyes showed thick killing intent as he said coldly, You're wrong. I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to propose marriage to the Nangong family head. Yi Qinfeng ignored the killing intent in Nangong Zheng's eyes and said faintly, My little brother fell in love with Nangong Qingxue at first sight. Please allow the Nangong family head to marry Nangong Qingxue to my little brother. Hua! As soon as Yi Qinfeng finished speaking, there was an uproar. Yi Qinfeng, you've gone too far. Jin Jiechi was like an enraged lion as he roared at Yi Qinfeng and looked like he was going to tear him apart. As for Nangong Qingxue, who was dressed in a robe and was as beautiful as a delicate rose, her heart was also not calm. Traces of light appeared in her lifeless eyes. Although she had no feelings for Zhou Tianyi, if she had to choose between Zhou Tianyi and Jin Jiechi, she would choose Zhou Tianyi without hesitation. After all, not everyone could cultivate the sword heart. Not to mention that Zhou Tianyi had one of the three most ferocious people behind him, Yi Qinfeng. If Yi Qinfeng could really make the Mirror Moon sect bow, then the Zhou family's rise would only be a matter of time. But could Yi Qinfeng make the Mirror Moon sect and the Nangong family bow? She couldn't guess the answer. Interesting. This Yi Qinfeng is truly an interesting fellow. He challenged two superpowers by himself. I really want to know what he's relying on, Lei Zifan muttered to himself, revealing a playful smile. Big brother, do you think he's relying on our Lei clan? The tall and beautiful Lei Zixin stared fixedly at the tyrannical Yi Qinfeng as she transmitted her voice. This was possible. Lei Zifan's expression froze as he nodded his head. Yi Qinfeng, you sure have guts. Don't think that you're invincible just because you killed the insect demon and the three true lightning saints. If you dare to cause trouble in my Mirror Moon sect, I'll definitely make sure you don't return. Jing Qian was completely enraged and roared loudly. Yi Qinfeng's actions were undoubtedly a slap to their faces. Under his orders, a large number of Mirror Moon sect experts appeared in the chaotic front yard and surrounded Yi Qinfeng's group. They were only waiting for Jing Qian's order to surround and kill them. This is my betrothal gift. Please accept it, Patriarch Nangong. Yi Qinfeng ignored the angry eyes of Jing Qian and the others. He took out a square brocade box from his universe mirror and lightly flicked his finger. It flew towards the ashen-faced Nangong Zheng. When Nangong Zheng reached out his hand to grab the brocade box suddenly shattered, revealing a head bleeding from 7 orifices. The insect demon. It was the head of the insect demon. Looking at the head in Nangong Zheng's hand, many people recognized that this head was the head of the insect demon, one of the 3 evils of Thunder Domain. Patriarch Nangong, I wonder if you like my betrothal gift. If you are willing to accept it, the matter of you letting the insect demon assassinate me will be written off. Yi Qinfeng looked at the gloomy Nangong Zheng and said, When Tianyi and your daughter get married, I will give Patriarch Nangong 10 Gudao treasure, 10 Gudao pills, and 10 top-grade Dao tools. Hiss! Hearing Yi Qinfeng's conditions, the people who were waiting to watch a good show couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. It could be said that this kind of conditions, no power wouldn't be tempted. 10 Gudao treasure, 10 Gudao pills. This was enough to let a powerful power be reborn. I can't promise you. Although Nangong Zheng was also tempted, but at this juncture he could only refuse Yi Qinfeng. Because if he agreed, Nangong family and Mirror Moon sect would inevitably become life and death enemies. This was something he absolutely didn't want to see. Patriarch Nangong, I am very disappointed with your choice, but this doesn't affect my decision. Yi Qinfeng seemed to have already predicted Nangong Zheng's decision. He cast his gaze towards Nangong Qingxue, who was biting her red lips and feeling extremely uneasy, and said, Nangong Qingxue, I know you are not willing to marry Jing Jiechi, but I don't know if you are willing to marry Tianyi. As long as you nod your head, I will immediately take you away. Too much bullying, Yi Qinfeng, you have gone too far. Yi Qinfeng's words were like an invisible palm that ruthlessly slapped on Jing Jiechi's face. It humiliated him, made him angry, and made him completely lose control of his emotions. He wanted nothing more than to cut Yi Qinfeng into 1,000 pieces. I have gone too far. What can you do about it? Yi Qinfeng looked at Jing Jiechi, whose eyes were blood red with murderous intent, and said emotionlessly, You are not worthy of Nangong Qingxue. Junior, my Mirror Moon sect is not a place for you to behave atrociously. At this time a deep voice sounded. An old man wearing a blue robe, with snow-white hair, sword-like eyebrows, a square face, and deeply sunken eyes, giving off a ferocious feeling, stepped on the void and appeared. Jinghua, enlightened master. Didn't the rumors say that he failed to challenge Lihan Heaven and died of old age? How come he is still alive? Are you stupid? You actually believe the rumors? If Jinghua, enlightened master, died, Mirror Moon sect would still be standing in the Thunder region. Seeing Jinghua, enlightened master, one of the two main pillars of Mirror Moon sect, appear, the masters from all the major forces who came to congratulate him began to whisper. Even though the insect demon was terrifying compared to Jinghua, enlightened master who had lived for over 40,000 years, there was still a certain gap in power. Plus, Mirror Moon sect didn't have Jinghua, enlightened master, and Nirvana master. Yi Qinfeng challenging two super forces in public was no different than courting death. Nirvana master saw Jinghua, enlightened master, suddenly appear. Yi Qinfeng didn't show a trace of panic on his face as he said emotionlessly, If I want to take Nangong Qingxue away, you can't stop me. Presumptuous. Jinghua, enlightened master's face darkened as an invincible aura emitted from his old body. It rolled through the void and suppressed Yi Qinfeng and the others. This aura was so strong that it made everyone around feel as if they had fallen into an ice cellar. They felt a chill from head to toe, and their chests felt like there was a mountain pressing down on them, making it hard for them to breathe. Seeing Jinghua, enlightened master's invincible aura oppressing Yi Qinfeng, Marquis Qianming, who was standing beside Yi Qinfeng, narrowed his eyes. An equally terrifying aura emitted from his body like an erupting volcano. It collided with Jinghua, enlightened master's aura and formed a terrifying storm in the void. In the next moment, the sword puppet used its hand as a sword and slashed out. A sword light as fast as lightning shot into the sky, as if it wanted to split the void in half. It slashed towards Jinghua, enlightened master, and forced him to step back. The two Nirvana masters, looking at the Marquis Qianming and the sword puppet guarding Yi Qinfeng, Nangong Zheng and Jing Kehan's expressions changed slightly. Yi Qinfeng, no one can protect you today. Today you will die without a doubt. As he spoke, an illusory and dreamy light mirror appeared above Jinghua, enlightened master's head. He was ready to use this extremely powerful quasi-sage treasure to kill Yi Qinfeng with all his might. Mobile reading website. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1283. Jinghua Jinren. Isn't it a bit unreasonable for an older generation like you to bully a young person? Just as the battle was about to break out, an old man wearing a dark brown robe and emitting a cold aura walked out and arrived beside Yi Qinfeng. Yin Juyao, if your Earth Yin sect wants to protect him, you'll become enemies with my Mirror Moon sect and the Nangong family. Jinghua Jinren looked at Yin Juyao with hostility and said furiously, "That's right, my Earth Yin sect has decided to stand with young Master Yi." Yin Ruashi, who was wearing a black dress with a golden phoenix pattern that outlined her voluptuous figure, looked at Taoist Mirrorbloom's angry eyes and openly declared her position. She was wearing a black dress with a golden phoenix pattern that accentuated her voluptuous figure. Although her decision was very bold and dangerous, after seeing how terrifying Yi Qinfeng was, she and Yin Jiao decided to take the risk after discussing it. Moreover, she subconsciously felt that the chances of Yi Qinfeng losing weren't very high. Yi Qinfeng dared to challenge the Mirror Moon sect and the Nangong family, so he definitely had something they didn't expect. Good, 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 Yin Ruashi, very good. I hereby swear that the Earth Yin sect will be my Mirror Moon sect's eternal enemy. If I don't destroy your Earth Yin sect, I swear I'm not human. Jinghua Jinren's eyes flashed with a chilling light as he swore. You probably won't live to see that day. With that, Yi Qinfeng crushed a beast-controlling pouch. Immediately, over 10,000 gold-devouring bugs flew out and circled around Yi Qinfeng and the others. They let out ear-piercing screeches. Gold-devouring bugs. These were the insect demons' gold-devouring bugs. Seeing Yi Qinfeng summon over 10,000 gold-devouring bugs, the expressions of the experts hiding in the distance changed drastically. If Yi Qinfeng recklessly used the gold-devouring bugs to attack, they probably wouldn't be able to escape with their destructive power. Brat, don't be so impudent in my Mirror Moon sect. At this moment, another Nirvana expert with unfathomable power appeared in the Mirror Moon sect. Reverend Watermoon and the two ancestors of the Mirror Moon sect had both appeared. Many people recognized the silver-haired old woman with a dragon head staff as one of the two great elders of the Mirror Moon sect, Reverend Watermoon. Her strength was on par with Reverend Jinghua. Start formation in order to restrain the gold-devouring bugs and prevent more casualties. Jing Qian activated the Mirror Moon sect's array formation. Tens of thousands of array formations appeared in the void, ready to isolate the space and restrain the space-devouring bugs at any time. Senior Yin, when we fight later, please take care of Tian Yi and leave the rest to us. Although Yi Qinfeng was in a bad situation, there was still no trace of panic on his face. He transmitted his voice to Yin Juyao. Young Master Yi and catoptric deflection's strength were unfathomable, and they were good at joint attacks. If they worked together, they could stop an ordinary Nirvana Heavenly Realm expert. Yin Juyao said worriedly, "Don't worry, Senior Yin. They won't have a chance to attack together." As he spoke, a pitch-black bead appeared in Yi Qinfeng's hand. When Old Man Heavenly Eagle, who was mixed in the crowd and came to offer his congratulations, saw the pearl in Yi Qinfeng's hand, his expression changed drastically. He involuntarily took 2 steps back. Not only did Old Man Heavenly Eagle feel threatened by the Saint Annihilation Orb, but the 2 adepts, Hua Shuiwe and Hua Shuiwe, who were preparing to attack together, also felt threatened. Who do you think I should send to hell first? Yi Qinfeng looked at the serious expressions of the 2 adepts, the illusionary flower and the water moon, and revealed a playful smile. Yi Qinfeng, don't be so arrogant. A single orb of extermination won't be able to change your fate. Reverend Mirrorbloom said with a gloomy expression, not daring to approach. If one doesn't work, then 2. After that, Yi Qinfeng took out another Annihilation sacred orb and held it in his hand to frighten the 2 enlightened beings. Damn, where did this little bastard come from? How could he have such a treasure? Feeling the destructive power contained within the Saint Annihilation orb, Jing Qian did not dare to act rashly. He had no doubt that once Yi Qinfeng detonated the Saint Annihilation orb, it would definitely bring a calamity to them, and he himself would most likely be blown to death. Nangong family leader, I will ask you one last time. I represent my younger brother to propose marriage to you. Please marry Nangong Qingxue to Tian Yi. Are you willing? Yi Qinfeng held the 2 Saint Annihilation Pearls in his hands and intimidated the 2 spiritual masters. He cast his gaze toward the gloomy Nangong Zhang and asked in a low voice, "Give up. I have already decided to marry Qingxue to Jia Qi, and I will not change this decision." Yi Qinfeng's trump card was out of Nangong Zhang's expectation, but at this moment he had no way out. He could only brace himself and express his opinion. "Nangong family leader, I am once again disappointed in your choice." Yi Qinfeng shook his head and said, "I hope you don't regret it." "Young Master Lei, this Yi Qinfeng is too arrogant. I hope that young Master Lei can help us kill him and eradicate this malignant tumor that threatens the lightning territory." Jingjiaqi's eyes rolled as he looked at Lei Zifen, whose eyes were flickering, and said loudly. Hearing that Jingjiaqi wanted to drag him into the water, Lei Zifen frowned. However, he knew he could not back down. He could only stand up and say, "Young Master Yi, can you listen to me?" "You are." Yi Qinfeng looked at the handsome Lei Zifen and asked in a low voice, "I am Lei Zifen, and my father is the current leader of the Thunder Clan." Lei Zifen said neither arrogantly nor humbly, "Thunder Clan, young master." Yi Qinfeng frowned and asked in a low voice, "What? Does the Thunder Clan want to get involved in today's matter?" "Young Master Yi, please do not misunderstand. The Thunder Clan has no intention of getting involved. However, the 2 orbs in your hands are too destructive. To avoid unnecessary casualties, please do not use them." "Okay. I will give the Thunder Clan face and promise not to use the 2 Saint Annihilation Orbs. However, if anyone does not know what is good for them, then don't blame me for being ruthless." Yi Qinfeng said coldly. "Yi Qinfeng, if you are willing to leave now, the Mirror Moon sect can let bygones be bygones. Although Reverend Mirrorflower's time is up and he doesn't have much lifespan left, he still fears death and doesn't dare to take the risk. Moreover, Yi Qinfeng has 2 Saint Annihilation Orbs. Once they explode, it will cause immeasurable losses to the Mirror Moon sect. We can leave if you want, but Nangong Qingxue must come with us." Yi Qinfeng said overbearingly, "Impossible. Qingxue will not go with you." Nangong Zheng shook his head and denied. "Then there is no room for negotiation. In that case, let's fight. I want to see who can stop me today." With that, Yi Qinfeng's battle intent suddenly exploded. His entire body was like an unsheathed sword, extremely sharp. Ao! The Chaos Divine Beast also transformed into its original form at this moment. The aura of a Saint Beast was released without reservation. After devouring the demonic core of the mother metal-devouring insect and large amounts of heaven and earth spirit treasures, the Chaos Divine Beast's strength increased again. It was comparable to Nirvana. Saint Beast, that person was transformed from a Saint Beast. Who is this Yi Qinfeng? Not only did he have 2 Nirvana protecting him, he also had a Saint Beast following him. Feeling the aura of the Chaos Divine Beast, Nangong Zhang and the rest became even more serious. It could be said that Yi Qinfeng's power and foundation exceeded their imagination, causing them to fall into a dilemma. Just as the battle was about to erupt, Zhou Tianyi looked at the pale-faced Nangong Qingxue, who was biting her lips and feeling extremely uneasy, and stepped forward. 10 chapters. 10 chapters. Please give me a red packet. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this reading. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1284. Big Brother, since this happened because of me, why don't I settle this with Jing Jiechi? Zhou Tianyi took a deep breath and said, Jing Jiechi, do you dare to bet with me? Jing Jiechi revealed a vicious expression and said, Can you make the decision? Big Brother, trust me. Zhou Tianyi clenched his fists, looked at Yi Qinfeng, and said with a firm tone. Yi Qinfeng looked into Zhou Tianyi's deep eyes and said, I've thought it through. Zhou Tianyi nodded heavily. Fine, Tianyis will represent my will. Can you represent the Mirror Moon sect? Yi Qinfeng looked at Jing Jieqi and asked in a low voice. Jieqi can represent the Mirror Moon sect. If Zhou Tianyi can defeat Jing Jieqi, you can take Nangong Qingxue away. The threat of the two same perishing pearls was too great. Jinghua Zhenren didn't dare to take the risk. Plus, Yi Qinfeng had 3 super bodyguards. Leaving today's farce to Zhou Tianyi and Jing Jieqi was the best choice. Plus, Zhou Tianyi was only a level 3 combat beast emperor, while Jing Jieqi was a level 5 combat beast emperor. The huge gap made Jinghua Zhenren feel that Jing Jieqi had a high chance of winning. Nangong family head, what do you think? Yi Qinfeng looked at Nangong Zheng and asked in a low voice. Since Jinghua Zhenren has spoken, then let's do it. Although Nangong Zheng was a bit angry at Jinghua Zhenren's decision and wanted to get rid of Yi Qinfeng in the Mirror Moon sect. Seeing the 2 Saint Perishing Pearls in Yi Qinfeng's hand, he had to compromise. Seeing that she was the wager, Nangong Qingxue was furious. But Zhou Tianyi's disregard for life and death moved her heart, making her subconsciously hope that Zhou Tianyi could win. Since it's like this, then let's fight to the death. Jinghua Zhenren said, If we win, I hope you won't continue to cause trouble. Otherwise, the Mirror Moon sect will use everything we have to take your lives. Don't worry, I don't want to go back on my words, Yi Qinfeng said indifferently. The marriage between the 2 great powers had turned into a martial arts arena. This was something that no one had expected. However, Yi Qinfeng's tyrannical strength had penetrated deep into everyone's hearts. Nangong Zheng, in particular, had developed a strong desire to kill Yi Qinfeng. He kept thinking of ways to keep him alive in the Mirror Moon sect. Since you have decided to gamble with your lives, then only one of you can survive. Have you thought it through? Jing Kahan personally presided over the life and death battle between Zhou Tianyi and Jing Jieqi. I've thought it through. Zhou Tianyi looked deeply at Nangong Qingxue, who had a complicated expression and was biting her red lips, and said firmly, I have no objections. Jing Jia, who was confident in his strength, said curiously, All right, since you all have made up your minds, then this competition will not end until one of you is killed, announced Kahan. Little bastard, Nangong Qingxue is not someone you can touch. Today, I will personally twist off your head and send you to the afterlife. Jing Qian said sinisterly as he took out a superior-grade Dao tool. This Dao tool was in the shape of a lotus flower and had a wide blade. You are not worthy of Qingxue. Even if I die, I will drag you down to hell with me. After saying that, Zhou Tianyi hugged his king weapon with a determined expression and closed his eyes. Silence awaited the start of the competition. Young Master Yi, if Tianyi loses, will you really leave? Yin Ruoshi walked to Yi Qinfeng's side and transmitted her voice. Tianyi will not lose, said Yi Qinfeng without hesitation. Zhou Tianyi challenging Jing Jieqi was actually something that Yi Qinfeng and Zhou Tianyi had already discussed. Just now, it was also a show that they had put on. Will not lose. Yin Ruoshi's brows slightly raised, looking at Yi Qinfeng's chiseled face. She was looking forward to this battle. The competition began. Following Jing Kahan's command, the life and death battle between Zhou Tianyi and Jing Kahan began. The two of them immediately used all their skills to launch fatal attacks at each other. They wanted to suppress each other with their tide-like attacks. Transform snake bloodline, true yang body fusion. After consuming the yin-yang life elixir, the yin and yang energy in Zhou Tianyi's body completely fused. When he ignited his bloodline power and activated his true yang body, his strength rose steadily. Soon, he surpassed the limit of a level 3 combat beast emperor and possessed the strength of a level 4 combat beast emperor. However, Jing Jieqi was a level 5 combat beast emperor expert and was also known as the #1 genius of the Mirror Moon sect. He was extremely powerful. Even when Zhou Tianyi ignited his bloodline and activated his true yang body, he was still not his opponent. Soon he was suppressed by her attacks and was surrounded by danger. Level 5 sword form, Mu Yun, sword cannon. Facing Jing Jiechi's tide-like attacks, Zhou Tianyi deduced the level 5 sword Dao to the extreme and used the Mu Yun sword cannon that Yi Qinfeng had given him. Streaks of sharp sword rays intertwined, cutting through space and dissolving Jing Jiechi's attacks. Go to hell! Relying on his absolute strength to block Zhou Tianyi's Mu Yun sword cannon, Jing Jiechi leapt into the air and fused with his blade, slashing out a slash that could split mountains and rivers. With a slash of his blade, wind and cloud surged, thunder and lightning intertwined. The terrifying blade aura made Zhou Tianyi smell the thick threat of death. Bang! Jing Jiechi's blade slashed down on the king weapon that Zhou Tianyi was trying his best to block above his head. The terrifying blade runes were like a boiling tide, crazily surging, tearing apart Zhou Tianyi's body defense and aggravating his injuries, causing him to retreat step by step. And with every step he took back, a large amount of blood spurted out from Zhou Tianyi's mouth. Clearly, Jing Jiechi's slash had heavily injured Zhou Tianyi's body. Seeing Zhou Tianyi's miserable state, Nangong Qingxue suddenly felt her heart ache. Zhou Tianyi's fearless eyes and blood-soaked figure were deeply engraved in the depths of her soul, constantly tugging at her heartstrings. Yi Qinfeng, you're still too arrogant. Wait until Jing Jiechi kills that little bastard. I want to see how you deal with this. If you go back on your word and seek justice for that little bastard, I think the Thunder Clan won't sit idly by. The reason Jing Jiechi agreed to Zhou Tianyi's life and death bet was mainly to drag the Thunder Clan down with him. If the Thunder Clan interfered, no matter how powerful Yi Qinfeng was, he would still lose miserably. But he didn't know that all of this was under Yi Qinfeng's control. After heavily injuring Zhou Tianyi with one slash, Jing Jiechi followed up with a relentless barrage of attacks to suppress Zhou Tianyi, not giving him the slightest chance to breathe. It's over. Just when Zhou Tianyi, who was retreating step by step, collided with the restriction wall behind him and had no path of retreat, Jing Jiechi revealed a trace of a cruel smile. He activated the power of his bloodline and deduced the Dao insight to execute the inherited Dao skill of the Mirror Moon sect to launch a lethal attack at Zhou Tianyi, wanting to kill him in one strike. Vertigo art. At the crucial moment, Zhou Tianyi, who had been suppressed by Jing Jiechi all this time, used the killing move that Yi Qinfeng had taught him. The soul power in his mind instantly exploded, and like a heavy hammer, it smashed into Jing Jiechi's soul sea, causing his reaction to become slightly slower. Although Jingjiaki had returned to normal in the blink of an eye, that fleeting moment was enough to be fatal. Sword Heartburst, Dusk Cloud Sword Cannon. Zhou Tianyi activated his Sword Heart and forcibly increased his attack power by several folds. He executed the Supreme Grade Dusk Cloud Sword Cannon and stabbed at Jing Jiechi at close range. Chi. A large amount of blood splattered as Jing Jiechi's defenses were broken by Zhou Tianyi's sword and pierced through his heart meridian. Immediately after, Zhou Tianyi's wrist shook and shot out a large amount of sword Dao patterns. They were like a sky full of sword butterflies that slashed at Jing Jiechi's head and directly beheaded him. Bang! Jing Jiechi's eyes widened as his head rolled on the ground with blood flowing out from his 7 orifices. Until the moment of his death, he still couldn't believe that Zhou Tianyi actually killed him. Mobile reading home. Book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Collect button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1285. Jia Qi seeing Jing Jiechi lying in a pool of blood. Jing Qian felt as if he had been struck by lightning. A large amount of qi and blood rushed to his head, and his mind went blank. He could not believe that Jing Jiechi had died just like that. You dare to kill Jiechi? I'll take your life. Jing Jiechi was Jing Qian's most beloved son, and he had high hopes for him. But now, Jin Jechi had been killed right under his nose, and he lost all reason. He let out an uncontrollable roar. Chi, a mercury-like saber light, slashed down, bringing with it a power that made people despair. It slashed towards Zhou Tianyi, wanting to kill him and take revenge for Jin Jechi. Seeing Zhou Tianyi being cut in half by this shocking saber light, an extremely fast figure blocked in front of Zhou Tianyi, using his own body to block the saber. What a tough body! Jing Qian was a Nirvana expert. Seeing the sword puppet not being injured after taking his saber attack head-on, the people watching from afar sucked in a cold breath. Sect Master Jing, is this your so-called reputation? Have you lived for so many years in vain? Yi Qinfeng looked at the furious Jing Qian with a dark expression and shouted without holding back. You! Jing Qian looked at Yi Qinfeng viciously. His mind spun quickly, wondering if he should shed all pretense of cordiality and kill Yi Qinfeng and the others to take revenge for Jin Jechi. However, he still had some misgivings about the consequences of shedding all pretense of cordiality. After all, Yi Qinfeng was not weak, and he had the help of the Earthine sect. Even if they could kill Yi Qinfeng in the end, they would have to pay a great price, and the Mirror Moon sect's reputation would be ruined. Just as he was hesitating, the sword puppet that saved Zhou Tianyi suddenly attacked Jing Qian, thrusting its sword. This sword was too fast, giving people the feeling that it was like a bolt of lightning cutting through the void, making it impossible for people to react. Jing Qian did not think that the sword puppet would dare to attack him in the Mirror Moon sect. His reaction was slightly delayed, and he was struck by the sword puppet. A deep sword wound appeared on his chest, and a large amount of blood spurted out. Whoosh! Whoosh! After injuring Jing Qian with one strike, the sword puppet followed up with another attack. It held the black dragon sacred sword in its hand and attacked rapidly. Streaks of sharp sword light enveloped Jing Qian and forced him to defend with all his might. This sudden scene stunned everyone. Just as the two enlightened masters regained their senses and wanted to help, Yi Qinfeng used his sword steps and suddenly appeared beside Jing Qian. The 4 Dao diagrams appeared around his body. He held the dragon's pine sacred sword and stabbed towards Jing Qian's back, determined to kill him. Have a death wish when the 2 Daoist masters saw Yi Qinfeng suddenly attacking Yi Qinfeng to kill Jing Qian. They were instantly enraged. They rushed forward recklessly and unleashed their terrifying killing moves towards Yi Qinfeng. Ancient map fragment, forbidden when the 2 adepts of the mirror, flower, Shuiwe. Yi Qinfeng's body appeared in the ancient map fragment. It sealed the entire space and trapped the 3 Nirvana realm experts in the ancient map fragment seal. In the next moment, Yi Qinfeng crushed a Saint Annihilation Pearl. An unimaginable destructive energy erupted, shattering everything in the void. Seeing Yi Qinfeng and the sword puppet being annihilated by the Saint Annihilation Pearl's destructive energy, they hid in the universe, realm, and time, allowing the 3 enlightened masters to be swallowed by the Saint Annihilation Pearl's destructive energy. Know the Saint Annihilation Pearl's destructive energy could even injure Nirvana Heavenly Realm experts. It was not something the 3 enlightened masters could withstand. Under the attack of the Saint Annihilation Pearl's destructive energy, the defensive trump cards they summoned were continuously shattered. Their injuries were also increasing, and they were faintly unable to hold on. Mirror Flower, Qian, I will leave the Mirror Moon sect to you too. On the verge of death, enlightened Master Shui Yu stood in front of the 2 enlightened masters, who were severely injured. She used her own life to fight for them. Shui Yu, I swear I will avenge you. Seeing enlightened Master Shui Yu's body being shattered by the Saint Annihilation Pearl, enlightened Master Shui Yu's eyes turned blood red. His heart felt like it was being stabbed by a knife. However, at this moment, they did not have time to hesitate. They used the sliver of time enlightened Master Shui Yu had bought with her life to attack the cracked ancient map fragments restriction with all their strength. They tore a hole in the restriction and escaped in a sorry state. Before they could catch their breath, the Marquis of Qianming and the Chaos Divine Beast rushed up with their respective quasi-sage artifacts and quasi-sage treasures. They attacked the two of them, wanting to kill them while they were heavily injured. How could enlightened Master Shuiyu and sect Master Shuiyu be so heavily injured? Where was enlightened Master Shuiyu and Yi Qinfeng? Because the ancient map fragment had sealed the space, the onlookers could only hear the loud noise. They did not know what was happening inside. Seeing the two severely injured enlightened Master Shuiyu and sect Master Shuiyu being suppressed by the Chaos Divine Beast and the Marquis of Qianming, they were all stunned. Shuiyu has been killed. Now it's your turn. I will let your Mirror Moon sect know the consequences of going back on your words and breaking the rules. A thunderous voice rang out. Yi Qinfeng put away the ancient map fragment that was riddled with cracks and flew out with the sword spirit puppet. Then he spoke with a murderous intent. What? Enlightened Master Shuiyu is dead? Hearing this, everyone present was dumbfounded. They could not believe what they had heard. It could be said that enlightened Master Shuiyu's death was even more shocking than the insect demon's death. Moreover, enlightened Master Shuiyu had died in the Mirror Moon sect. This made their hearts tremble at Yi Qinfeng's methods. Powerful. This Yi Qinfeng's methods are truly powerful. I feel like he never wanted to compromise from the start. Zhou Tianyi and Jing Jieqi's life and death bet should only be a catalyst, an excuse. He never wanted to let go of the Mirror Moon sect at all. Lei Zixin looked deeply at Yi Qinfeng's proud figure and was not stingy with her praise. Yes, this Yi Qinfeng is very terrifying. We have to re-evaluate him. Lei Zifan nodded. Yi Qinfeng, if I don't kill you, I swear I'm not human. Enlightened Master Shuiyu's death had completely infuriated enlightened Master Jinghua. He let out a sorrowful roar and burned his longevity and blood qi at all costs to stabilize his injuries and fight with his full strength. Patriarch Nangong, my Mirror Moon sect, is in trouble. Please take into account the relationship between our two factions and help us kill the enemy. As long as we kill this little bastard, my Mirror Moon sect will serve the Nangong family in the future. In order to kill Yi Qinfeng's group and take revenge for enlightened Master Shuiyu and Jing Jieqi, Jing Kehan gave Nangong Zheng a condition that he could not refuse. Nangong Zheng, if your Nangong family dares to interfere, I guarantee that your Nangong family will become the second Mirror Moon sect. Just as Nangong Zheng's heart was restless and wanted to help, Yi Qinfeng's arrogant and overbearing warning sounded in his ears. It was like a basin of cold water that extinguished the flames in his heart. Father, don't make mistakes again and again. Young master, Yi is not someone we can provoke. If you continue to be stubborn, you may bring disaster to my Nangong family. Looking at the hesitant Nangong Zheng's eyes, Nangong Qingxue, who was wearing a phoenix crown and a robe, walked to his side and said softly, "Sai, forget it." Nangong Zheng sighed softly and said, "Qingxue, if Yi Qinfeng really wins, please help us say a few words and ask for his forgiveness." "I will." Nangong Qingxue looked at Zhou Tianyi, who was covered in blood, and gave her a great shock. She nodded lightly. "Nangong Zheng, do you really want to abandon my Mirror Moon sect? Do you know that all of this started because of you?" Jing Kehan, who was seriously injured and could not withstand the fierce attacks of the Chaos Divine Beast and the Marquis of Qianming, roared angrily when he saw Nangong Zheng's indifference. "I'm sorry, sect leader Jing. I can't make mistakes again and again. My Nangong family will withdraw from the dispute." Nangong Zheng sighed softly and said apologetically, Good, Nangong Zheng, I was wrong to believe a despicable and shameless person like you." Jing Kehan fell into madness and roared angrily, "Wait until my Mirror Moon sect passes through this crisis. I will fight to the death with your Nangong family." Mobile reading website. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 1286. Moon Mirror Killing Formation. Annihilate 10,000 enemies as Jing Qian defended against the attacks of the divine beasts of chaos and the Marquis of Qianming. He crushed a palm-sized formation plate in the shape of a crystal. Tens of thousands of formation runes spread out and merged into the activated moon mirror killing formation, increasing its power to the maximum. In the next moment, countless formation runes condensed in the void. Under Jing Qian's guidance, they swept down from the sky and attacked Yi Qinfeng and the others. 9 Dragon Jade Wall break. Facing the attack of the moon mirror killing formation, Yi Qinfeng immediately summoned the supreme grade Saint Treasure 9 Dragon Jade Wall. He ignited his dragon bloodline and increased his soul power by 7 times. He poured his soul power into the 9 Dragon Jade Wall and controlled the 9 Dragon Jade Wall to form a killing dragon. It tore apart thousands of formation runes and bombarded the moon mirror killing formation. Boom! 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 An earth-shattering sound rang out. Facing the attack of the 9 Dragon Jade Wall, the powerful moon mirror killing formation let out an earth-shattering sound. Visible cracks spread out on the surface of the moon mirror killing formation. The formation runes surging within the killing formation were crushed by the power released by the killing dragon. Large amounts of formation foundations were shattered. How is this possible? How can he have such a powerful treasure? The moon mirror killing formation was the main formation of the moon mirror sect. It had been passed down for tens of thousands of years. The power it contained was unimaginable. However, facing the attack of the 9 Dragon Jade Wall, the moon mirror killing formation was shattered. This made Jing Qian and the others' hearts drop to the bottom. The people watching from afar were even more shocked by Yi Qinfeng's shocking methods. Their hearts trembled. Moon Mirror Sect, listen to my orders. Attack together and defend the Moon Mirror Sect with your lives. Jing Qian ordered loudly. If you don't want to die, get out of my way. I'll kill whoever dares to interfere. After summoning over 1,000 supreme grade formation flags and setting up the 1,000 killing formation to resist the attack of the moon mirror killing formation, Yi Qinfeng drank a mouthful of heavenly secret water. He quickly recovered his almost depleted soul power and warned with a murderous intent. Hearing Yi Qinfeng's warning, most of the Mirror Moon sect's disciples retreated. However, there were still 4 Nirvana experts and 7 level 6 combat beast emperors who summoned their Gudao treasure and attacked Yi Qinfeng and the others. Since you want to die, I will fulfill your wish. Yi Qinfeng's eyes flashed with killing intent as he quickly recovered his soul power. He then ignited his dragon bloodline and fiend god bloodline, fusing them with the blood demon diagram. He raised his strength to the limit and charged forward with the dragon's pine sacred sword. Go to hell! Yi Qinfeng quickly approached. The 11 Mirror Moon sect experts roared and controlled their Gudao treasure to attack. They wanted to gather everyone's power to severely injure Yi Qinfeng. Golden-winged flying feather Dao treasures flashed before Yi Qinfeng's eyes like a meteor shower. He summoned the quasi-sage treasure, the golden-winged flying feather, and moved quickly through the limited space. He relied on his absolute speed to pass through the 11 Dao treasures and ancient Dao treasures charging at him. He appeared before the shocked Mirror Moon sect experts. One line, sword, slash with a thrust of the sword, the sky changed color. This sword was unimaginably fast. This sword seemed to have pierced through heaven and earth. It had the power to annihilate all living things. This sword made people despair. It instantly killed 4 level 6 combat beast emperors and injured one of Nirvana's experts. A large amount of blood blossomed in the sky like blood flowers. Powerful Big Brother, if you were to fight with Yi Qinfeng, do you think you could defeat him? Lei Zixin, who had extremely high standards, turned her head to look at Lei Zifen, who was unable to take his eyes off him, and asked in a soft voice, "I am inferior to him." Although Lei Zifin was known as the #1 expert of the Lei clan's younger generation, after seeing the power of Yi Qinfeng's sword, he sighed deeply and felt ashamed of his inferiority. I really want to know where he came from, and which great power nurtured such a peerless genius like him. Lei Zixin was full of interest towards Yi Qinfeng. She blinked her big eyes and said excitedly, after killing 4 level 6 combat beast emperors with a single sword, Yi Qinfeng followed up with another attack. The sword Dao diagram, life and death Dao diagram, heaven and earth Dao diagram, and 5 elements Dao diagram appeared on his body. Torrential Dao might soared into the sky and turned into a boundless Dao sea. Yi Qinfeng used the sword steps and burst forth with 10 times the speed. With an unparalleled Dao might, he attacked the injured Nirvana expert. When Yi Qinfeng attacked, the Nirvana expert, who was prepared to die, did not dodge. He raised his strength to the limit. The instant he used the 2 Gudao treasures, he executed his strongest attack. He turned into a beam of killing light and blasted towards Yi Qinfeng. Absolute, sword black, dragon Yi Qinfeng's pupil shrank. The boundless Dao sea merged into the dragon's spine sacred sword. A black, dragon-like sword radiance shot out from the dragon's spine sacred sword and slashed towards the expert. This sword radiance seemed to be able to cut through everything in the world. Even the gods would have to submit to it. The 2 Gudao treasures were sent flying, and the beam of killing light was split apart. The Nirvana expert, who was unable to dodge in time, was split into 2 halves. After killing the Nirvana expert with 1 sword, Yi Qinfeng's strength once again shocked everyone. When Yi Qinfeng killed 5 people in a row with absolute strength, the sword puppet, Chaos Divine Beast, and Marquis Qianming worked together to suppress the attacks of Jing Kehan and Jing Huazhenren with an overwhelming advantage. They kept worsening their injuries. The Mirror Moon Killing Formation, which had been destroyed by the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus, and 1,000 killing formations set up by Yi Qinfeng with more than 1,000 supreme-grade formation flags, continued to crack. It was only a matter of time before it was destroyed. The Mirror Moon sect was finished. Seeing the situation in front of them, many people sighed. Until now, some people still couldn't believe that the Mirror Moon sect, whose strength was second only to the Thunder Clan, had been defeated by Yi Qinfeng and the others. Moreover, they were in danger of being exterminated. After killing 5 people in a row, Yi Qinfeng didn't slow down his attacks. He relied on his amazing defense to ignore the attacks of the 6 Mirror Moon sect experts. He controlled the bronze sword soul to fuse into the dragon spine saintly sword and attacked crazily. At the same time, he controlled the Qin Kuin sword formation to kill fiercely. Soon, the remaining 3 level 6 combat beast emperors were killed one after another. Only 3 Nirvana experts were left, covered in blood, struggling to hold on. Damn it, isn't this guy human? The 3 Nirvana experts who were severely injured and only had the strength to defend themselves became more and more shocked as they fought. It could be said that Yi Qinfeng's combat strength and defense had overturned their understanding. Gu Jianga, heart of the sword bright, moon just as the 3 gritted their teeth and struggled to hold on. Yi Qinfeng's 4 great Dao diagrams turned into a torrential Dao sea again. Following Yi Qinfeng's attack, Gu Jianga, which contained the sound of Dao, slashed towards them. A single sword tore apart the 3's ultimate attacks. Qiankuin Ring, Qiankuin Strike, then the 81 Qiankuin swords fused together and turned into a Qiankuin giant sword. It was as if it was tearing the sky apart and killed a Nirvana expert who was trying his best to defend. At this moment, only 2 of the 11 Mirror Moon sect experts who were attacking Yi Qinfeng were left, and the 2 of them were scared out of their wits by Yi Qinfeng's strength, and their combat strength was greatly reduced. Under the merciless attacks of Yi Qinfeng and the others, the Mirror Moon sect, which had been flourishing for a while, was utterly defeated. 20 red envelopes will be given out today. If you want the password for the red envelopes, please add Yunlei's WeChat account, YLTY83, or just search Yunlei Tianyu's official account. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.